Okay, hey you guys, can y'all hear me and see me? Let me make sure everything is working. I hope everybody's doing good this evening. Thank y'all for joining me. Okay, good. Y'all can see and hear me. Okay, perfect, perfect. I was knocked out, so sorry it's the the meeting is so late. I took a nap. I've been exhausted. It's been a lot going on in my personal life. So I took a nap at like 5 o'clock. And so I just got up like, oh my gosh, I got to do a Zoom. But so I wanted to let you guys know I had to go down to the Mayo yesterday, the Mayo Clinic. That's why I'm having my surgery. So I had to do a whole pre-op thing. They had to go back over my x-rays and let me know, like, like what the plan of action is, right, for my surgery. So that was like that was an all-day affair. We left the house at like 5:30 in the morning because it's almost like a 2-hour drive from the city, me and my mom. And then we were there literally all day, didn't leave until about 3. Then it was snowing. So I literally made it back in time to do the meeting that I did yesterday, the green room show. I made it back like within 40 minutes before the show and had to get like right into show mode, even though I was like hit with so much heavy info. So I had to do the surgery. The surgeon said, because it's the same surgeon who did my right shoulder 3 years ago. So he said my left is looking worse and it's going to be a bit more complicated. They had to get certain parts because I had to have the whole shoulder completely replaced. So I'm not excited. It's about to be another painful, horrible surgery. I'm gonna have another scar. But I have no choice. I had to get it done. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a lot of pain constantly. And there's like, my shoulder is just completely deteriorated. So I have no choice. Um, so I'm gonna get that done, but I'm gonna be out for about 6 weeks. I really can't do much. I can't drive, can't edit. I know like the first 2 weeks are like just horrible. It's just the first 2 weeks when I had my last surgery, I couldn't do anything. All I could do was literally, I woke up just to take Dilaudid and would go right back to sleep. It was just like, wake up, take some heavy pain medicine, sleep for 6 hours, wake up, take some more medicine, sleep, just because you're just in so much pain and you forget how much you need your arms and your shoulders. Like you forget like how much you have to use your arms. And so he said it's going to be another 6 weeks like last time. Marianelle, Umbertone, and Rejoice will be the ones helping out in the Discord. They're going to basically be running everything. So if you guys have any issues, any questions, problems, definitely reach out to one of the three of them. I'm also going to put out like a schedule. They might try and do a few meetings, like 1 or 2 meetings until I get back. It would just be a regular get it off your chest. It wouldn't be anything deep. It would just be more or less you guys just talking to each other, because I know people like to get it off your chest meetings. So they may host 1 or 2 of those. I'm going to push the Christmas party up. It wasn't going to be until, I'm looking at my schedule, it wasn't going to be until the 24th, but I had to have my surgery before then. And there's no way I can jump around and DJ. So I'm going to move the Christmas party till the 17th. So it will be the 17th of December. I'll get the time for you guys, but that's when we'll do the Christmas party. And basically after that, I'll be out of commission, like come that Tuesday. So I probably won't even be back in the Discord or even able to like really access it for several days. I'm not gonna be making any YouTube videos. I'm not coming on camera at all because I'm gonna be in a sling and all that stuff. So I won't be making any YouTube videos. Spotify knows already, and they're just so dope. They're working with me on my shows. So they're like, yeah, whenever you come back, you're fine. The contract gave me a lot of leeway with timing. So it's not like I have to do all 12 shows back to back to back. So which was really cool. So I'm not too much worried about that. but I'm thinking I probably won't be back to doing podcasting or anything like that until sometime in January. So I just wanted to give you guys the heads up with everything. So after the 17th, I'll probably end up doing maybe a YouTube video that Saturday, and then that will be my last YouTube video. And then at that point, I have to get prepared to get up out of here and go have this 6-hour surgery. And just hope that everything, goes good like the last time. But yeah, so it's just been a lot. It's been a lot just trying to figure everything out, deal with the doctors, make sure the kids are good, get my youngest son a ride to school every morning, have people coming over to help. So my mother-in-law will be here, my mom will be here. They'll be taking shifts like last time. So I think for the most part, I have everything together, but I'm still also trying to just figure out like a schedule for stuff for the Discord. I think I will be able to do movie nights though. Like, when, when I'm not like knocked out on pain meds, that's really all I did last time I was out. I just watched tons of movies and documentaries and stuff. So if I can, I'll definitely let you guys know like, hey, I'm about to watch this movie. If y'all want to jump on the Rave app with me and watch it, I'm not going to be really typing or talking, but I can read and see what you guys say. So that'd be cool to like interact with you guys that way. So that's probably for the most part what I'll be doing like the next few weeks after surgery. So that is my get it off my chest. Sorry for like, for like the doom and gloom, but that's what I'm going through right now. So I just wanted you guys to be aware of that. So other than that, if y'all want to raise y'all's hand and let me know what you guys have been up to, what's on your chest. If you guys want to talk about the documentary, the everybody got me calling this shit the Omarion, the Omicron alien documentary that I did. If you want to talk about that, because I know some people had something to say about that and their experiences, feel free to share that. As far as the Spotify, I know some people were having issues trying to get on and call. When I talked to them about how some people were trying to unmute their mic and talk and it wasn't working, they're saying that if you're having those issues, you need to come out the app and then try it again, and also try to update your app on your end as well. So that might have been why some people were having issues. So let me go ahead and start with Marcia. We're red tonight. Go ahead and unmute your microphone.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good. How did everything go with your surgery? I'm glad you're okay.
I'm like, fuck everybody. Fuck all these bitches. I'm tired of everybody and like relying on people. Like, girl, everything from my rent, everything. Can't pay my rent because not COVID related. So the state is refusing to help me. So family refusing to help me. Everybody refusing to help me. So I'm like looking at possible eviction. And then my sister took my niece again because we got into it because this hoe can't admit that she wrong. Told her about herself, tell her instead of asking me for antibiotics and everything, she need to go get her coochie check. Sorry, I just had to get that off my chest because I'm tired of this. I'm tired of her fucking with me. That's what it is. I'm tired of her always fucking with me. And as a punishment, she want to take my help away. And so they put me on more pain medicine. So when you was up there talking about the lidocaine and everything, I'm just like, they gave me those as patches. So they put me on more pain medication. And now also too, like after this hip surgery, like I lost feeling in my left foot. Like so they don't even know if I'm gonna get feeling back in my left foot or not. So I'm like,
did they use like nerve block?
They put so when you have the surgery and everything, they put your foot in a boot to help them rotate your hip around as they're doing the surgery with the scope. Mm-hmm. And I guess I don't know if the boot was too tight or it clamped or whatever, but they're hoping the feeling comes back by Friday. But if not, they're like, we don't know if it's gonna come back or not. And I'm just like,
Mm.
so I'm just walking around here like with no feeling in my foot. Like it feels like it's asleep. And then when I'm sitting on my hip, like you can feel like it falling asleep more, but that pressure releases itself, but it still feels like it's asleep even more. It's some of her like, if the devil ain't fucking with me, I don't know who is. Like it's one of those things where I'm just like, you guys to be kidding me. Like all this cannot be happening all at once. Like so I'm up here like, you gotta take a deep breath.
Where's your
You
mom?
gotta,
Is your mom available to help you?
she's disabled too.
Oh,
So she's in a wheelchair and everything. Like she's gotten out the wheelchair, but
mhm.
I'm just up here like my dad helps me when he can. Like he's been working extra hours to pay some of my bills,
Mhm.
but he also has his own bills. And it's just like, it's weird because in the state of Indiana, like they only pay you so much. Like you have extra money, but like with these bills going up and higher, like it's crazy because like um I went to go order something to eat for myself. So I could have something to eat. The same meal that would cost me $20 almost cost me 35 just off of Grubhub. So it's like
Oh yeah,
everything,
it costs a lot more for them to deliver the food and stuff.
yeah. And I'm just like, and it's weird because like they have this health thing, and it's just like the state, they're like, oh, we'll take care of you because we made this mistake when you were younger and we do all this for you and everything. And then like I'm like, okay, then you know, you need to take care of this now because you're supposed to be giving me disability. You're supposed to be giving me the health aid and everything. I'm supposed to have somebody here with me. And they're like, basically, the week of my surgery, they told me, oh, you have to start all over again from square one. I'm like, you got to be shitting me. And they were like, oh, we can come and do the home assessment and everything. I'm like, you realize I'm having surgery on that day. I cannot.
Do you have Medicaid? Like
Yeah.
you have, so they should be, you should be able to like call the people or the number. They're supposed to provide you with like home health.
No,
Especially
those
after
are the home
surgery.
health people. Like that's who I've been fighting with the whole time. I've been fighting with them the whole time. Like they're supposed to be providing me with meals. It was supposed to be the only people who have come out so far
Mhm.
is the physical therapists.
Mhm.
Those are the only people who have came out. And like that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what's up with the state of Indiana, but they are like flipping or whatever, because they're like, oh, we'll take care of your rent during this time. We'll help you do da 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 da. And like as soon as I asked her, oh, you can't get it right now. You can't do this. And I'm like, y'all guys to be shitting me. Like you
I
have to be.
wonder if it also comes down to not having enough help because there's not enough people, like staffing shortages and stuff like that.
Yeah, they say that, but they also like, I see other people who have the same situation or less than me, and they're already got their people. So like I know people who are like, oh yeah, I got my person like this week. And I'm like, what the
Hmm.
fuck?
Right.
But I think it's because they're older and they think they're fine. Like they need the help more. But I'm like literally like the surgeon and my primary care doctor, like, no, she needs a wheelchair and everything. Like, yeah. So yeah, I'm sorry. She's like, time's up, girl. Time's up. Thank you for sharing. Well, yeah, no, but yeah, the state, I think it's because, when you're at a certain age, they think like, oh, you probably like, you really don't need the help as much of as an older person. But I literally
Right.
like difficulty. I can't even bend down to tie up my shoe or anything. Like, so that's my getting off my chest. I just had to say it. Sorry, y'all. The burden, I had to get it off. But
No,
yeah,
it's
thank you.
all good. I hope everything starts working out and things start getting better for you. I'm really
Oh
sorry
yes,
about this.
and no, and good luck with your surgery and everything, because that's what I'm about to go through next. Like after a couple of months, they're looking at doing both of my shoulders too. So
Oh God, you gotta get soldier surgery as well.
yeah, because it's a dysplasia. It's like my the labrums are tearing. So it's all from the Sjogren's and stuff. So yeah. So I'm
Girl.
telling them I'm waiting for my shit just
surgery having people on the distance.
yeah, I told them all, I said I just wait for my shit just to fall off. Like I can reattach this shit when it's like dangling by a thread. Just leave me alone at this point. So yeah. But thank you. Y'all have a good one. Sorry.
Right. Thank you for calling in, sis.
Bye.
Oh my goodness, she be going through it, honey. I swear, but I hope everything ends up working out for her. Let me go ahead and bring on Lady T. Lady T, go ahead and unmute your microphone.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. How are you doing?
Had better weeks, well, better months. I'm sorry. I was like, oh, I'm surprised you called me. I was listening to you when we were doing the green tea room when everybody was telling the metaverse. I'm like, I live in Memphis. I can't afford the metaverse when I'm trying to get shot in the real world. Because I was listening to Emily was talking about how dangerous. I'm like, I live right around the corner from where it happened. And I swear, see, I thought they were popping fireworks. All you heard was pop, 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 pop. And I swear, I'm like, these little kids, all they do is shoot fireworks all day long. And that's literally what I thought it was. Then I'm like, well, I'm gonna go out and do my Lyft rides because as the driver come out, someone stole my Cadillac converter from under my car. I'm like,
oh no,
I can't afford no metaverse if I can't even keep the real code. Like, only in Memphis would they steal your Cadillac converter from under your car.
That's been happening a lot. Because right now it's so hard for people to get appointments to get their cars fixed. So a lot of people are going around stealing like really expensive parts to cars and selling them underground. They're doing the same thing here in Minneapolis. They're stealing Cadillac converters and all that stuff too.
My dealership told me I got 6 months wait.
Yeah, yep.
I'm number 9 in line. He don't know when they gonna fix, so I had to put like a scrape pipe under just for it to work and not make as much noise, but it still make a lot of noise. You can hear me coming, and this is a brand new car. I'm like, how about a graduation gift and then someone come and tear it and ensure like that's a sale. We don't cover stealing car parts. Call your dealership. They're like, stand in line. They stealing all the Chrysler stuff from under the car.
Yes, somebody in the chat said that their sons was stolen twice. Yeah, they're going because right now it's so hard to get an appointment, depending on what the issue is with your car. But if you need like things fixed on your car, a lot of those parts are not available. So people are just helping themselves to other people's parts, sadly.
Yeah. And I saw a shop that had all of them. He was trying to charge me $500. I'm like, what if you give me the part and you put it on for $700, and then you send the person come back and steal it again? I'm out of money. So it's kind of scary because he had, like, when I said a room full of like the Cadillac converter, I was like, I'm kind of scared if I buy one from you, is you gonna send somebody to come and take it back?
Yeah, because he got a whole room full of them and the dealership ain't even got them. They waiting for months to get them. So it sounds like he going around stealing people's stuff and reselling it back to them.
Because he told me he put my scrape pipe on for $80, even though it's supposed to be illegal. Police like, well, we can't say nothing because, you know, the shortage, we ain't got enough police officers to handle your case because we're trying to figure out about the killings because the little girl got killed around the corner from me also it was Presley with a little carjacking and they got fight. The little girl died. I'm like, wow, she was like 17. I'm like, it's like people dropping off like flies. I'm like, right now the metaverse kind of looking sounding kind of nice right now because Memphis is getting hot. I mean, hot.
Yeah.
I mean, every day someone getting killed up here. I'm like, you can't even pump gas without getting shot.
Mm-hmm. It's getting bad like all over.
Yeah, I was just like, let this court know. Watch your cars. People stealing everything from your tires to your lug nuts and your Cadillac converters.
Mm-hmm.
But good luck on your surgery and y'all.
Thank
T-Sippers, have a
you.
good night.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and good luck with everything. I hope your car ends up getting fixed soon.
Yeah. When never number 9 pop up around.
All right. Good night, sis.
Okay.
Yeah, they are bugging with the car parts. It is. It's a lot going on with people's cars getting stolen, getting stripped. And if he has that many, I wonder if he's sending people out to take people's stuff. I remember one time we lived in Charlotte. This was back in the day, honey. Everybody had bootleg cable. And I remember my homegirl, because they used to just like, you give the cable man $40 and they would hook up your cable. And so my homegirl, she had bootleg cable, whatever. And it was funny because every time her cable would get cut off, like literally within like not even 24 hours, the bootleg cable man would come like, oh, is your cable still working? And he did this like 5 times. I was like, dummy, don't you realize he's cutting off your cable and then coming back to play hero? Like he's doing it just to get more money. But yeah. Remember, yeah, I remember that in Charlotte. Nobody paid for cable in Charlotte. If you was paying for cable in North Carolina, you was an idiot. Because I don't know anybody who was paying for cable. Everybody, the cable guys down there were so corrupt. You give them $40, they would hook you up. Let me go ahead and bring on memories, honey. Let me bring on Glam Girl 09. Go ahead and unmute your microphone.
Hey sis, how you
Hey,
doing?
how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm hanging in there.
Good, good. So, in case I forget, like everybody been saying, my heart goes out to you. Like you got all the strength that you need. You're a strong woman. You got this, and I know that you'll have a speedy recovery, and everything's gonna go well. Like everything happens for a reason. Whatever doesn't kill you, make you stronger. You know, you got this.
Thank
I love you.
Love
But
you.
look, so getting off my chest,
Mm-hmm.
my baby has been bullied. Like she has got my 8-year-old. Well, she's about to be 8 in January. And like when you think about, you know, all of this like violent culture and like everybody's so angry,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to like, because my baby is, you know, sweet as all, like she's sweet, but you know, like Lady T, Memphis crazy. Memphis hood is kind of like inbred in you. So like you can only push her to a certain point. But she's sweet. Like I had her in like Montessori, and now she's like in a public school. And so now this is her first kind of like exposure to, you know, a little bit of everybody. You got a mix of, you know, you have white people there, Latinos, people from Middle East, like everybody. But I don't think like she's had an experience with, you know, real like just hood, like, you know.
Hood kids,
and so
right.
Exactly. So this is her first experience, and I'm like trying to make sure I don't pop off, because I don't want to duplicate this whole angry, you know, culture that we're living in right now. And like I'm talking myself down, because you know Mama Bear just want to tee off on everybody and be like, who did it, where you at? And I know who the little girl is. I see her get picked up. I know her family, and I don't want to go there, right? And so for those of y'all who don't have kids, this is what you have to look forward to. Like you have to be the better person. You have to be, you know, it's not just about you and protecting your child, but it's also about like what they'll have to deal with after you do whatever you do. Because the conversation I was having with her was like, I'm not going to be with you every day. I can't go to school with you, you know? So it's really important that I figure out how to just like, you know, number one, I have to really educate her on what a bully is and what the behaviors, you know, like what to go for and what not to go for. But just with everything going on, girl, the city, like Lady T said, it's really, really crazy here. It's like, and I don't stay too far from where Dolph was shot either. And like, it's really crazy. Like it's died down a little bit, but at one point, like you were scared to go out. You did not want to be out after dark. And even my second grader, they were talking about it in her class, girl. Somebody, did you hear about Dove getting shot? That was my favorite rapper. Da, 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 da. Like it was really like the city was mourning, you know. And you don't appreciate people until they're gone. But you know, it's crazy how the violence is spreading and how we really just have to be accountable for ourselves and the people that we do have come into contact with. You know, if there's people on your job, if it's your children, if it's your significant other, because it's crazy how it spreads, you know. Like we just have to be real careful. Like, what is your advice on educating children about bullying? Like, what did you do with your kids?
It's hard, you know, and I mean, I went through that mainly when they were younger. Like I would say it's usually elementary school.
Yeah, because she's in second grade.
Yeah, and I remember like, I think for the most part with my oldest, he was for the most part okay. It was kind of my youngest.
Yeah.
There was like this little boy, they would get into it sometimes at the bus stop, and then finally the little boy called him the N-word. So at that point, that was like the final straw for me, because they had been having little issues on the playground and at school. So then I go to the parents' house, because, you know, you want to kind of confront the parents, like, you know, what's going on? You know, your son is calling my son the N-word. Well, the daddy is a white guy, honey, from Chicago, who thinks he's black. Nah, my son would never do that, because, you know, I was raised in the hood too. And I'm like, oh Lord, he's one of them. He's a whole wigger. So I'm like, where the hell did he hear the N-word from, sir? You know, so it was like the weirdest shit. Yeah, he popping off on me like, right? I'm like, this old hood ass white dude. You know, so we finally came to the conclusion, like, okay, tell your son to come out here, and we just kind of talk to the boys. Like, you know, your dad swears up and down you didn't say it, but my son knows what he heard. So I'm telling you now, that's not okay. That's not okay language. If y'all don't like each other, stay away from each other, you know, but eventually they got over it, and then they became friends. They became cool. So like, you know, a few months later, they'd be running around playing football together and stuff like that. And then I remember he had issues with this little girl. And now they were Black, and they lived in the same community, and he comes home crying. He's real upset, and you know, and so I'm mad. I go, I'm knocking on the door. Nobody's opening the door at this point. Everybody's just like looking through the window. Nobody wants to open the door. So I'm just like, this is insane. But you know, kids are gonna have that back and forth, and eventually they became like this. And what it was, he had a crush on them. So it's like she pick on him, you know, mess with him. But you know, she ended up liking him and stuff like that. And you know, as parents, it's like, even back then, you could knock on somebody's door and be like, can we have a conversation?
Right.
Nowadays, I don't know if I'm knocking on anybody's door, because folks are crazy. You know, that's the part that's just kind of like, and then you got people who feel like, well, not my child would never. And it's like, no, sometimes it is your child. And sometimes, you know, it's your own child that might be involved in it. But one thing I'll say too is, you know, always get both sides of the story.
Yeah.
And when people come, like, let's say it's your daughter involved in something, they're coming to confront you, always handle it, you know, like talk to the parent respectfully and then shut the door and handle it with your child behind closed doors. Yeah. Don't chastise your child in front of that other parent, because some parents get off on that shit.
Yeah.
So some parents get off on things like that, but kids are going to have issues. You know, I would just continue to talk to her and let her know that people come from different walks of life, and you got to understand everybody is not as fortunate as you are to be in your situation. You know what I'm saying? Your hair's done, your clothes are clean. You know what I'm saying? When you come home, there's food. A lot of kids, they may not have that. So they're projecting that anger. You know what I'm saying? Because I know, and I think with little girls, it's even worse. Because I got some like little things here and there with the boys, but not too much. And then by the time they got to a certain age, it's like, go out there and go fight. Like, I don't know what else to do. You just don't have to go to things. You know, so eventually, and they'll never start anything, but if they kept getting picked with and mess with, they're gonna fight, you know, and that's what they did. So I was okay with that because they're boys. But like with a lot of my friends' daughters, I think the bullying with the girls is worse because the girls are also trying to get attention from the boys.
Yeah.
So, you know, I would see like how their daughters went through it from elementary school to like high school. They were
Yeah.
still dealing with the bullying. Whereas with the boys, it's usually when they're younger, then by the time they're in junior high, they're all out there playing sports.
Right. They're not worried
cool.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, damn, y'all still dealing with bullying? Like they're in the 9th grade now, but they really do. And
Yeah.
some of the little girls that would pick on her daughter, you kind of look at them and be like, well, I see why they're mad. You know, your daughter's hair is braided. It's nice. She's well groomed. And some of these little
Exactly.
girls look like they just rolled out of bed because their parents don't care. You know,
Right.
so that's one thing that I used to have to reiterate to their kids. Like a lot of it, sometimes it's just jealousy, animosity, it's hurt. So you can try
Yeah.
your best to ignore them. But the way we was raised is that, you know, after a while, you're not just gonna keep messing with me because they don't
Exactly.
think they can keep doing it. And sometimes
Yeah.
you have to get the main bully, and when you knock her out, the rest just they calm the fuck down. But that's how we were
Period.
raised. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's a different
Yeah.
era now.
For
So
real. I mean, that's for real though, because like you can't walk up to a parent because like you
Mhm.
know, I used to teach, and so I know even with me being a teacher and I'm telling you about your child, oh no, I don't know what you did. Like, no. So I know as a parent, with this being my own child, so like what I've thought, I'm gonna, you know, email her teacher and like, listen, put this on record. So if they do get to jacking, okay, it's on record that she was bullied. But thank you,
right.
Marquis. All right. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Okay.
Yeah, I
Love y'all.
definitely started paper trail, you know, because
Yep.
I've gotten principals involved and things like
Yep.
that. So they know
Yep.
that you are a caring parent, you are an involved parent, you're just not out here
Exactly.
letting the mess, you know, roll. But
Yep.
like I said,
Yep.
if it gets to the point where, you know, we've had sit down meetings and parent teacher conferences and try to find resolution, and that child is still, you know, doing certain things, then at that point, there's nothing wrong with defending yourself. And
Right.
for me, like I had to put the boys in, I put my oldest in boxing class and then I
Yep.
put the youngest in jujitsu, you know, just so they could
Mhm.
learn to defend themselves. It's not about
Exactly.
fighting and being violent and picking on
Yeah.
people, but I
Right.
can't be everywhere. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? And I don't know the
Exactly.
stances. You know, I'm a girl, so I don't know how boys fight. So I put them in classes so men could teach them, you know, because their
Right.
dad wasn't around like
Exactly.
that. So
Yeah.
yeah, you do what you got to do, protect your child, but just always let them know where a lot of that stuff is stemming from. Let them
Right.
know not to internalize it. A lot of times it's not
Exactly.
even anything that they're doing. They could breathe and the bully feels around,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
You're
know?
right. Okay. I appreciate it, girl. I
Definitely.
love you,
Good luck.
sis.
Love you too.
Okay.
Thanks for
I'll
calling
be
in.
praying for you. All right.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye. Yeah, man, these kids are wilding out here. They be out here. Whoo, the bullying is no joke. God is good says my daughter just signed up for Kung Fu. Yes. Putting your kids in defense classes are really good. I recommend it. It teaches them discipline. It teaches them to know, you know what I'm saying, when they should fight and when they shouldn't, you know, because they always reiterate walking away first. But, you know, somebody touches you, then at that point, okay? All right, let me go ahead and bring on Queen C. Queen C, go ahead and unmute your microphone.
Hey T,
Hey, how you doing, sis?
I'm good. Let me get on video. Hi,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm hanging in there.
That's good. I just want to say congratulations on your Spotify. I think that's a really big deal. And I'm really proud of you. I think you deserve it. I wish I made the last one, but I missed it. But I'm definitely gonna catch the playback. But I'm really glad that you're finally somewhere where they're celebrating you and you don't have to deal with all the bullshit, the censorship and all that stuff. Cause YouTube be tripping. And I
It's
just
getting
enjoy
bad on there. for a
yeah,
lot
like
of
the
people.
censorship is bad, even on like social media sites too, I noticed. Like you can't comment on a lot of stuff and they're deeming a lot of stuff like unsafe when
Mhm.
it's really not. So I'm just glad that you're able to express yourself fully, like on a platform that you actually like. So
Thank you.
congratulations. You're welcome. I also want to say I'm praying for you for your surgery. That sounds really tough. I'm really sorry you have to go through that. I know that's no fun, but I just want you to know we're going to be turning up in the Discord for you.
Yeah.
We'll be waiting for you there. Um, but yeah, I just want to send love. Oh, and one thing,
Mhm.
I know Marcy is listening. I just want her to know she can send her sister outside and we're not going to jump her. We just want to talk.
Oh, that part. We just want to have a conversation with sis.
We just want to talk. That's it. I promise. That's it. But I just want to say thank you for everything and I'm praying for you. And that's all I want to say.
All right. Thanks for calling in, sis.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Let me go ahead and bring on Tim Rican. Tim Rican, go ahead and unmute your microphone.
Hey T, hey everyone, how you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
It's one of those weeks.
A lot going on, huh?
Yeah. The good news is my brother finished his associate, so we were like at a dinner thing yesterday, which was cool.
Uh-huh.
But I got a classic family ain't shit story.
We're here for it.
So, all right. I'm not as close to my mother's side of the family as my dad's side, right?
Mhm.
Both sides have train wreck situations, but so long story short, my uncle about 13, 14 years ago got with a 16-year-old girl. He was old enough not only to be her father, but her grandfather. Met
Mhm.
her in Reading, Pennsylvania in a bar. So already a bunch of red flags there. And in my opinion, he ruined her life. He spent 5 years in prison for domestic violence. They got into an argument once and while she was sleeping, and 2 of the 4 kids she had from him existed at that time. He threw hot oil on her. Luckily, the she had blankets on and stuff, so it wasn't hot enough to actually give her too bad of burns. But
Mhm.
he spent 5 years in prison for that. He was also in the Jersey Journal for some other nonsense. But basically, we call the girl Mimi. She's been in and out of his life this whole time. Even after he came out of jail, they got back together and got legally married.
Oh, even after all of that.
Even after all of that. So she was one of those people that her home life was horrible from the jump. So she, basically she got given some of the worst. Like I think like her mother was a drug addict and a prostitute. Dad wasn't around. Like a whole bunch of madness even before my uncle got into the picture.
Mhm.
So I've always felt bad for Mimi. Child Protective Services took all her kids because she attempted to commit suicide once while the kids were there, and the neighbors called, the cops came. It was all this madness going on. So all the kids are in foster care. I'm sorry, all the kids have been adopted. 2
Mm.
by one mother, the 2 boys by 2 different adoptive families. So like even the kids are split up at this point. But I've always felt bad for Mimi. She became addicted to drugs. She's been living in women's shelters this whole time. Um, she's been on and off with my uncle this whole time. Well, we found out that at 35 years old, died of a heart attack.
Your uncle?
Mimi. Mimi
Oh,
died.
the girl.
The girl died of a heart attack. She was found in the streets, was brought to Bellevue Hospital in New York City. She was already in a coma by the time they brought her in. And she died the day after Thanksgiving in the hospital.
Mm.
In the emergency context, she had my aunt. The medical examiner called my aunt. And my aunt told them that she didn't know her. It had nothing to do with her.
What?
So then when the medical examiner called back on December 3rd, was like, yeah, we still got this body here. We got to do something with this. That was when my aunt that finally decided to tell my mom. And my mom got pissed off, called up, and yeah, that was when my mom found out that Mimi was dead. My uncle didn't even know. He's been looking for her for a week.
Mm.
So then my uncle is laughing in the background, my aunt's husband. Mind you, his son died at the age of 35 from heroin. But laughing at her because, oh, well, she was a drug addict and sold her body anyway and all this other stuff. Good for her. Said in the background while my mom's talking to my aunt. So I'm very disgusted at my uncle. Like, my uncle's always been a piece of shit, but this is like a new low for him. Mind you, he's suffering from lupus. And I'm just like, I'm beyond disgusted. So it's like, rather than, making improvements in his life, it's like he's doubling down on the assholeness.
Right.
So
It might be some guilt and shame, because when you think about it, he kind of made that trajectory in her life. Not saying it
No,
was totally his fault.
it's not
Oh.
even my uncle that is laughing that was with her. It's my other uncle
Oh, it's
that
a
is
different
laughing.
uncle. Okay, so a lot
Different
of
uncle.
family members. I'm trying to keep up. So it's a
Okay.
different uncle, but that
Yes.
uncle lost a child. You said before to a drug overdose.
Sorry, I
Yes.
don't understand.
Okay.
Google, stop being nosy. But yeah, so but yeah, so all right, Mimi was with my uncle. His name is John, but we call him Polo, like Polo Ralph Lauren, but in Spanish it's like Polo. And the uncle that's the asshole is Uncle Quincy. So
Okay.
Uncle Quincy is laughing at her death, even though his son died of a heroin overdose, like, from years of heroin use. So it's like, you're an alcoholic forever. You have no, like, you're the last person that should be laughing at anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, like I said, my family ain't shit. The funeral is Saturday. I'm hoping he don't show up, because I might be cursing somebody out in the funeral home. Like,
Mm.
seriously. And I wasn't even like close to Mimi like that, but I'm not laughing at her death.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Right. So
I need to get that off my chest, because my people wonder why I'm not close with my family. I'm like, no, because my family ain't shit. Most of them, like, they are horrible human beings. So,
Well, the old saying goes that sometimes you're more closer to people who are not blood than your own blood.
Yep.
There's people I have way stronger ties with than anybody in my family, and we're no relation. And that's okay. Sometimes your family is what you make of it, not necessarily your blood related family.
Yeah, I'm honestly close with my friends I've grown up with since school and some of their families. So it's almost like we're like intertwined more there than most of my family members, like extended family.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I can't, like, there's other stories I could go into, but not enough time and too much headache. But, but it's like, yeah, it's just one of those where it's like, if you notice, I never really brought up my family before in previous calls. There's a reason. Because of stuff like this.
No, totally understandable. Well, rest in peace to her, and I hope everything goes okay at the funeral for you, and there's not a whole lot of drama.
Yeah, I'm hoping not either. I hope it goes smooth. So thanks for letting me get off my chest.
Definitely. Thanks for calling in, sis.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Now, speaking of family, I don't know if you guys know this, but I wanted to mention that one of our Discord members, Tierra Monet 12, and you guys have seen her in the Discord. She has like that kind of like a real funny avatar. I think it's Teriyaki Tina or Black China's mom. I'm not sure, but it's like a little avatar. But she let everybody know the other day that her husband died in their home. So she was in the friend finder room, and I happened to see it that morning. And she was literally waiting outside the house. She's like, I don't even know who to talk to. I don't know what to do. The only thing she could think of was to post in the Discord. But I remember her talking about her husband a few times, and how close they were. So he passed away. So Tierra, if you end up watching this, my condolences to you and your family. My heart definitely goes out to you. She did post an update yesterday about 6:00 in the morning. And Tierra says, thank you guys again for your kind words. I'm still emotionally in shock and disbelief right now. My baby is really gone. I'm pretty sure I mentioned him in the Discord. He was a bootleg tea sipper. I'm crying as I type this. I've never dealt with death when it comes to the person you are the closest with. I'm only 26. He was only 26. I'm 27. I don't know where to start making arrangements, insurance, etc. It's a lot. Sorry for the rant. I'm just so lost. So a lot of people have been just kind of giving her advice and condolences and things like that. So matter of fact, let me share my screen so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. You guys will know who it is once you see her avatar. But it just goes to show you life is just so short. It just really is. But this is Tiara right here. So this is the post that she made. Let me see if I can jump on it. There we go. So that's the post that she made. So that was the update from yesterday. But so she's been really going through it. And all this happened within like the past 2 days. So I just thank God for the Discord and just people just being just genuine, being sensitive, you know, just sending out prayers and just really being like a family, because that's a lot to deal with. You know, at 26, your husband suddenly passing away. And I don't know what it is about this year, but if you guys notice, all of the deaths that have been happening have been deaths of people suddenly passing away. And they're not necessarily like COVID or anything like that. There's just been so many news reports. I remember somebody put a compilation together a few weeks ago of how many news anchors in different cities are like, such and such was a police officer, suddenly passed away. Such and such, a local chef, suddenly passed away. They were even saying if you Google suddenly passed away, it's one of the top trends on Google. So it's a lot of people just like passing away for, you know, different reasons. So my heart definitely goes out to her because I know she's a big part of the Discord. So I just, you know, want to send her just healing and condolences in her time of need. So, you know, definitely reach out to her and send her messages and well wishes and things like that. So I checked to see if she was in here. She's not in here right now, but I just wanted to make everybody aware, you know, that one of our members is really going through it. So let me go ahead and bring on some more people here. Let's see. Bukola, can you go ahead and unmute your microphone?
Oh my God. Oh my God. I cannot I cannot believe this is my first time in one of these chats. This is you recently opened the Discord. I joined through there. I am 21. I'm in college right now. So this is a really tough time. This is final season. And I've just been having a tough time just mentally keeping up with everything. Well, good news, I got into med school. I got into like a full ride MD PhD program.
Wow.
But I getting like in early acceptance and also being a senior, I've just been hit with a lot of like laziness. Thank you. You guys are so great. Oh, I love this community. I've been following you for a while now. Like I've been following you since high school. I'm about to graduate college. Like this is, I mean, not as long as some people here, of course, but this has been a long run with you as like my mental break, my getaway, keeping me current. So thank you. But right now I'm really having a tough time. Thankfully I have a great friend that I study with, but I spend like most of my nights studying and working up to 5 a.m. Then I have to wake up the next day around like 8. So I get 3 hours of sleep. So I can go to work and then go to class and then study again. And I'm really nervous for this one exam that I've got coming up. And thank you guys. And I'm sorry. I was scared about raising my hand because I feel like my story isn't as profound as other people's here.
Oh no, this is to get it off your chest. So whatever you're going through, that's what these are for. So definitely welcome. And it's funny because you have I'm assuming you're Nigerian because you have the same name as my mom. Her name is Bukola too. So I'm like, let me find out my sister's in here.
And yes, best of luck to you in your surgery. I wish you a speedy recovery and congrats. Oh my God, we're blowing up. I see Spotify out here. You know, I love my Spotify. So it's so nice to just have you there on the platform. And yeah, best of luck to everybody who's going through it right now in this chat. I'm hearing a lot of heavy stuff and I just want you to know I'm a Christian. I'll be praying for y'all. If you guys were willing, and thank you so much for the well wishes.
Yes, definitely. And one thing when you're going to like, you know, medical school and stuff, it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of stress. You know, there's a lot of people in our family too that, you know, are nurses and doctors and, you know, especially in the Nigerian community, it's very, very stressful, you know, because you're not just doing it for yourself, you're doing it for your parents and the whole community, but do not allow it to stress you out. You know, take things at your own pace, live in the moment,
Mhm.
enjoy it, you know, and really fully enjoy that college experience, and just understand that you were meant to be there. The fact that you have a full ride is such a blessing, that your hard work and everything is paid off. And I think sometimes we don't give ourselves enough credit or even a pat on the back. So just take time out to do that and understand that you're there and that was part of God's plan. So congratulations once again.
Thank you so, so much.
You're
Yeah.
so welcome. Thank you for calling in, sis.
Man.
All right, let me go ahead and bring on Shalane P. or Shalane. Hopefully I said it right. Go ahead and unmute your microphone.
Hello.
Hello, hi.
Hi. Oh my goodness. See, I've been a Discord member since day one, and this is my first time ever being called on.
Okay, I thought you were new because I'm like, I haven't seen that name. Okay, well, I'm glad
No.
you're here.
Yes, I've been a member since day one, 2020, whenever that was that you first invented your Discord. But sorry, I'm winded now because I'm nervous. But
No,
so
you're fine.
yeah, I've been praying for you. I've been knowing about your surgery, and I just pray you a speedy recovery. And
Thank
I can't wait till you get back. So I'm a SPED teacher, and I just don't know how much of what's going on in our school districts right now is real. We have so many parents complaining that their children are not being cared for, protected during this season of COVID. And they're literally like lobbying and rallying that, oh, we want our kids to all be required to get the vaccine. I just find that so crazy.
Oh,
As
the
a
parents are
mom
demanding that
myself,
all the kids get the vaccine?
yeah, well, yeah, I'm at a school district about 20 miles south of Seattle,
Mm-hmm.
and they're complaining that there's not a vaccine mandate for the kids. Is that odd? As a parent, I wouldn't want that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, is there someone behind this? Or because I got it strictly to keep my job. I didn't want it, but I'll take it to be able to feed my kids, you know?
Right.
But I just, I think it's so strange that the parents, not even the staff, the district, the parents are coming at us with this, you know, after we worked so hard, because SPED students up here never went home. We kept them in the classroom, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole pandemic, we worked with them, and I've never had anyone get sick. And so
But
I
I'm
just find
confused
that,
though. I'm confused. If these parents are very adamant about wanting their kids vaccinated, okay, then just go get your child vaccinated. Because again, if they have the vaccine, shouldn't that mean they're protected from, you know, everybody else who's unvaccinated? This is why a lot of people just like this whole thing doesn't make any sense. You get the vaccine and yet you're still crying about people who aren't vaccinated. Ain't that why you got it? You know what I'm saying? Like if their child is protected and they're so pro-vax and they want their child vaccinated, okay, then go take your child because now they're able to get it and then they should be good. So even if somebody else's child is not vaccinated, why do they care if their child is not protected? Has anybody mentioned this to these parents? Oh, I think she muted herself. Let me go ahead and unmute yourself again.
sorry, my fault.
That's okay.
But yeah,
Has this been mentioned to these parents?
they feel that they're at risk by staff and students who are not vaccinated. I mean, I had parents approach me before the mandate was put into effect. Oh, you better go get the vaccine. You haven't been vaccinated yet, which I'm like, it's none of your business.
At all. Her phone keeps muting. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Okay, there you go.
That was just one of my concerns that's really been bothering me as a teacher. I don't know what the future holds for schools staying in person, if we're going to go remote again with Omicron. I don't know.
Now, you know what? We had a really interesting discussion in the Telegraph group because I have a separate group for my mods. And we were talking about the metaverse and how I feel they're going to use the whole metaverse thing. They're going to start with the school children. So if you have parents at your school that are so adamant about the vaccine, they're going to be the perfect candidates to say, hey, your kids will still be able to hang out with their friends and go into this virtual classroom through their avatar in the metaverse. Those are the type of parents that are going to be signing up for this whole thing. And I think that's what they're going to do, because a lot of these kids are already indoctrinated into like a lot of these virtual life and Second Life games, that I think that they're eventually going to roll that out in the schools first.
Yes, I can see that happening because they already have our virtual standalone school that's K through 12, and there's a 600 student waiting list for that standalone school that is all virtual. And so I can definitely see people signing up their kids to be in a something like that. As far as the metaverse, I did listen to the Tea Room podcast, and because I am religious, every time I hear about someone creating these grand, these ideas like Zuckerberg, it reminds me of the Tower of Babel. If you remember, the people who created the Tower of Babel, they thought themselves to be almost like God, and so God confused the language and he showed them that they weren't. And I feel like that's eventually going to happen because they feel like they can defy death and all these things, and it's not possible with what I believe anyway. And so, yeah, that was all. I just wanted to share that.
Okay, well,
thank you for calling
so
me.
much. Definitely, it was very nice talking to you for the first time. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, that is so strange that the parents there are fighting for everyone to be vaccinated. But the whole point of the vaccine is now you're protected. So if you're protected and you have it, why are you worried about the child next to your child? So that means a lot of people don't really believe in it. You just have to keep it real, and y'all know whatever you choose to do, whatever you have to do is your business. But I'm starting to feel like most people must not really believe in this vaccine, because why are they pressuring kids who are not vaccinated to be vaccinated? It's very strange. It's really sad. Let me go ahead and bring on Chiba Stone. Chiba Stone, go ahead and unmute your microphone.
Hey, baby.
Hey, sis, how you doing?
Okay, let me start from the beginning. Now, I have always been in understanding that God is king. And people try to emulate God. They try to make God pop up in front of their face because they have never been able to understand the grace when you come in front of God. So they make it a metaverse. They make it a dead universe where they just try to gain what we get when we actually look in God's face and understand what he's telling us to do down here when we're doing our thing. And we're doing exactly by what God is telling us what to do. Like they have a whole twisted system to where it's a written language, it's a code, it's a everything, to where when you plug it in the computer, it's nothing but lines and circles, but everything is nothing but shapes and colors. Shapes and colors is what the whole entire universe is built off of. So when I say that I don't understand where somebody else is coming from, because I want to understand where they're coming from the bottom and the base, and then coming up out of it, because God told me that this is going to be our way out. He's gave us enough grace. He's been going so hard for us that we've been forgetting ourselves. God has been looking at us and trying to figure out why we haven't been flourishing the way that he thought we were. But now that we are just a little bit, when it's almost time for everything to end, that he's kind of frustrated. So it's like watching a basketball game. To him, everything is like watching 3D to him, because he's just watching us because he loves us. He's not going to penalize us for this or that or this and weird. He's not on that. He's on watching us, who we are in our heart, in our soul, what it says to him. What does that say to me? Does it say this person deserves to be here and love and live and honor and cherish and just be because they are? And that's enough for me. God's different. And I think people don't understand that God morphs just like we morph. We understand that we are changing, we are going here, we're going there, but God is going there too. God is never going to be left behind. He's like the cool granny or the cool granddaddy at the barbecue. He's going to always be there.
So are you saying that the metaverse is the way out? I guess we're all confused in the chat.
No, 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 ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am. No. Your way out is when you talk to your elders. Your way out is when you talk to your children. Your way out is when you talk to people that are going to bring in the new universe. We don't get to morph it and tell it what it's going to do. They do. But when we talk to them and tell them how we feel, that's what's going to matter. They matter.
Okay. Thank you for
So we have to
clarifying.
talk to our
'cause we're
kids.
confused.
Oh, yeah, I know it. I know it. I know it. But when I say that, now it all makes sense. When it all lays down, it all makes sense.
Yeah. No, I think that's part of the problem is like a lot of people have gotten away from God. Like God is not cool, you know? Even when you think
Yeah.
about some of like the biggest shows out right now, there's a show that's on Netflix, something about going to hell, demons coming from hell. If y'all write it in the chat, if y'all know what I'm talking about, Hellbound. Hellbound.
Yeah.
That is one of the
Mhm.
biggest shows, and it's even surpassed Squid Games. You know, so it's almost like we're being indoctrinated to forget about God. And even if you don't believe in like the Judeo, you know, sense of the word God, but just even something bigger than yourself.
Just something bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
Everything that's bigger than yourself. Understand that God sees all. He don't have to. He's like us as parents, like how me and you are, T. Like
Mhm.
we 90s, 80s kids. You know what I mean? So we parent a certain type of way, and we get it, but we're not gonna dive like head first and just fall off the wagon and woo woo. Like we're not gonna do all of that. But we're gonna be here. We're gonna understand that things happen. We're gonna be here and understand that you can do better. We're gonna be here and understand to make you do better because this is your reality that's coming. But we're not gonna ever hide anything from you because our parents hid shit from us. And that's why we don't know who the fuck we are right now. That is the problem. That is the problem. That is the problem. I'm sorry. I haven't even got an emotion. I started crying and shit.
No, it's okay. It's okay. No, I mean, I just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page, and now you've explained it more clearly. I definitely
Yeah.
know where you're coming from. Yeah. All we can do is pray, sis,
I
and you know,
preach.
hope for the
I
best.
do. I
Mhm.
preach only for God though. I only do it for T and people that tell me that God is in the building. It's a go. That's the only time I start talking like this.
Mhm.
I don't know how other than that, because people like you have given me, because my brother's a Leo and me and him, I'm a Virgo. I'm sorry, baby. Oh, I'm sorry. Bye, y'all.
Thank you so much for calling in, Chiba Stone. We appreciate you, sis.
We love y'all. Bye.
Love you too. Bye. All right, let me go ahead and bring on, let's see here. Beautiful Spirit Always. Go ahead and unmute your microphone.
Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. How are you?
Doing pretty good. First off, as always, this is the first time talking as well. I've been on the Discord for a while as well. So it's really great meeting, finally talking as well. Forgive me for sounding kind of nervous. I really do appreciate the Zoom of kind of getting stuff off the chest. This has kind of been like a long week, both on like the love front side and work-wise.
Mhm.
I've been working and excuse me, sorry, I feel so nervous, but I've been working for the last, few weeks, and with the job heading in this direction, I'm just nervous as well. I kind of do like the scheduling work for locations that use the instrument, especially now we're in COVID times. So the instruments that they're using to test COVID and to definitely push out the vaccines and stuff. So that's the day-to-day work I've been getting. And so the work has just been getting exhausting. And I guess my real feeling of getting off my chest is with all of that that's going on at work, you know, I'm kind of feeling overwhelmed in the love life, if you could say.
So, I mean, are you single or do you have a boyfriend? You're just not able to be around him, a husband?
Uh, it's one of those situations you want to be transparent. Those situationships where you don't know where it's going, and normally, I guess this one's taking its toll because as you get older and you want that serious thing and trying to get that realization that person doesn't really want it. So I'm trying to be on like a new space of actually trying to walk away.
Mm.
But
Yeah, you know, once you get older, nobody got time for games.
yeah,
Okay? If he's giving you signs that he does not want to be in a committed relationship or he still wants to run the streets, then at that point, you know, it's better to let it go and be with somebody who is on the same trajectory that you're on. You can't be going one way and he's going another way. It's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to look back and be like, dang, I wasted another 3 years. I wasted another 5 years, you know? When you might turn around and meet somebody and they want to get married within a year because they're ready to settle down and build a family, build something beautiful. So I think that's where sometimes as women, we kind of wait and we hope that eventually, you know, that guy will come around and they'll see what we see and, you know, we'll eventually be able to make it work. But the problem is, you know, as we get older, we don't have that luxury, you know, because a guy can be 60 and still get with a 20-year-old, right? So it's like we don't have that luxury. So definitely don't sit and allow yourself to waste your time and energy on somebody who does not want the same thing, who's not on the same, you know, playing field as you are.
I think of it like rationally like that. I guess emotionally, like I said, as you get older, it's like one thing if you see it in your early 20s, you're like, you know, one day. But I'm saying it like I'm older, but I'm like 20, I'm getting 28 and I'm Nigerian. You know, we're very big on marriage. So everyone's asking that question, when's it coming? And I'm like, look, I'm barely getting a text back. So pray for me. So
well, you're still young. You're only 28. You out here talking like you're 45. No, you're still young. You know, so no, you're definitely, especially being 28. Don't let this drag on until you're 35. You know what I'm saying? If that person is not where they need to be and because a lot of guys are not going to be ready to really settle down at 28 anyways, you know, so maybe it might be a situation where you need to find somebody a little bit older than you or just, you know, move on. But don't allow your youth, you know what I'm saying, to get wasted on this one guy and he doesn't know what he wants out of that relationship. You know, you're handling your business, you know, and you have yourself together. So you deserve that. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be with somebody who's going to appreciate that and want to be happy with you. And when it's all said and done, you know, I talked to a lot of my friends who are single, like a lot of my single homeboys and homegirls, and, you know, everybody's going through these little relationship woes. And I think for the most part, everybody wants the same thing, but they don't want to put in the work. It's like, yeah, I want to come home and have a hot cooked meal. And I want a girl who's there, you know, for me and holding me down. But it's like, well, what's the type of energy that you're putting out there? Like you're literally dating 6 girls at one time. So where are you going to find this woman, you know, who wants to settle down with you and cook your meals when you're going from girl to girl to girl to girl? So it's about just being really honest with yourself on what you want and looking at those red flags. You know, so many times as women, we ignore red flags because it is hard. Who wants to start over? Especially when you put time into a relationship. Nobody wants to be with somebody for 2-3 years. And then it's like, dang, I got to start all over. But it's better to start all over early when you start seeing those red flags than, you know, looking 10 years down the line and you have 2-3 kids and you're miserable and, you know, so yeah, if you're seeing red flags now, definitely do not feel bad or guilty for putting yourself first.
Well, can I put in a plot twist, semi-plot twist that's getting ready to, and advice, should I care or not care? So like I said, I'm working now and I have to train some new people, and to come to find out, one of the new people would be his ex-girlfriend. So, yes. And I actually have to train tomorrow. So I know where work is at. I will never put the energy to make that feel anyway at all. But how to go about that? You know, I'll still be professional always, but if
But
if
does
for
she
what-
know, does she know that you're his current girlfriend?
again, I don't know. Like I said, it's a situationship, so it's pretty loosely with the word girlfriend. Who knows, in a life he's probably suggesting I'm more single than what he leads on.
So how did you find out that was one of his exes though?
Because two things. He always mentioned his ex-girlfriend, of her name. And then as well, I remember a few weeks ago, he was actually asking me about my position at my job title and everything like that, which I thought was weird. He was like, yeah, because one of my quote unquote friends is getting ready to start. And I said, well, let me know. I can, introduce and welcome them to the thing. And he was being apprehensive of me even finding out who that quote unquote friend was. So now, like I said,
I would just keep it professional. Don't risk your job. Don't start, walking by her desk every day, giving her the side eye. You know what I mean? Like, don't risk your job behind anything they had in the past. If that's who you're dealing with now, then that's you and him. Just look at it like that. I wouldn't bring it up to her. I wouldn't say anything. Just act like you don't know the backstory. And hell, she might spill some tea. So I would definitely put, just play it cool. She might slip up and say something like, hey, I talked to this dude, James. You thinking in your head like, well, damn, James is my man. What the hell she doing talking to him? So I would just play cool, just keep your professionalism and do what you have to do. But if you want a relationship, you got to get out the situationship first and foremost. You got to, like, if that's what you want. Like for me, I'm kind of cool with situationships. I don't want to be bothered. So I like a good situationship here and there. But to me, that's not what you want. You want a relationship. And it's not going to turn into a relationship if it's built on a situationship, because he will always have one foot out the door. Because that's how I am in situationships. One foot out the door. Shit. You know what I mean? Because I want to be single for the most. I don't want to be bothered right now and be in a whole relationship, marriage. I've done all that, but I'm comfortable where I'm at in life. But you're still young and you want more. So that's the thing. If y'all want more, y'all gotta get out these situationships. If you're cool with it, then that's fine. But from what I'm getting from you, you definitely want more from this guy. So at this point, you need to give him an ultimatum and let him know how you really feel. You want to be with him. You think he's the one. Where's he at with all of this? And if he's not ready to settle down and commit to you, why is that? And then at that point, then the ball's in your court and you have to decide, are you willing and ready to let it go? Because a situationship will continue to be a situationship if that is that person's mentality. And this is coming from somebody who enjoys situationships. And I've had somebody in a situationship who wanted to marry me. And they got so upset, and it's almost the roles were so reversed, because I'm like, you knew what it was. Like I was like the guy in the relationship, like, bro, you knew what it was, So that's how he's looking at it.
I want to switch the roles. I don't want to chase. I'm still kind of semi-traditional mind. Like you want the guy to court you and everything. I feel like I'm doing too much. Trying to show.
At that point, you have to let it go. You get what I'm saying? If you feel like you're doing too much and you're the guy in the relationship and you're begging him and trying to make him see value in you, then you're definitely doing too much. Because if he doesn't see the value in you, he doesn't want to settle down. He wants to still do him. So at this point, are you going to be going into your 30s in the same situationship? Meanwhile, there's probably a guy out there who really wants to be with you and just you and build something with you, get married, build a family, but your energy is directed towards this guy. So you're blocking any potential good suitors. Energy is big. And when your energy is focused on the wrong person, you're blocking all those other people, who might want a chance with you.
Yeah. And I just hate that, as I know to take the steps to walk away. I hate walking away with the fact that I feel like I lost myself. Like now, how you pick up the pieces. Like, you have to do it. So that's the obvious, but man, what we have to do. But I gotta go. Thank you, T. I really appreciate the advice. And thank you everyone in the chat. I really appreciate it. Bye.
Definitely. You're welcome. And thank you for calling in, sis. We appreciate you.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, them situationships are no joke. Okay, do not get involved in them if you are not ready. People be acting like they are about that situationship life. 9 times out of 10, they're not. They are not. That's why now I'm just dating myself because I ain't got time. I don't want to be bothered with nobody. Because it's like, I think as adults, we all know what we want, and I'm pretty head fast. Maybe one day I'll be ready to get married and be in like a serious relationship. But today is not that day, And so you'll get with somebody that you like, you enjoy their company, y'all are cool. And then it's just all this undue pressure. I want to get married. We need to move together. I want to be with you. Leave me alone, So if that's the vibe you're getting, you got to move on. Now I'm not a player. Stop. Polite pimp time. I'm a player. I'm not a player. I just, I'm not going to settle, So it's just like, until I feel like it's the right person, when you find the right person, trust me, if a woman finds the right man, she will submit all the way. And for me, I just don't feel like, I found the right person to submit to. So no, I'm cool with the situationships. No, it's not Agent Matt. Y'all are so messy. It is not him. But he's cool though. He's a really nice guy. He's really nice, but it's not Agent Matt. So we're not gonna spread no rumors. But yeah, and that's when I had to kind of check myself, like, you know what? I had to get out of the situationship because it became so emotionally draining for me because I was starting to feel like I was in a relationship. And I'm like, I didn't sign up for this. Can you cook? Because I can cook my ass off. No, I don't feel like cooking dinner. Like, we're not married. Like, no, hell no, I'm not cooking right now. And if I happen to be cooking, I'm like, hey, you want to come over and eat? But then to be expecting meals to go to work, and I ain't got time for that shit. So yes, ladies, if you want to be in a relationship, do not do the situationship situation. Don't. It does not work because the person who is in the situationship, they're pretty adamant about what they want. And I was adamant. And then when it got to be too much and too much pressure, I had to cut it off. And this was something I was really cool with. And it was just like, we can't even be friends because you're getting on my damn nerves at this point. It's just too much pressure. Y'all gonna stop with these trucks. All right, next case. We gonna get out my situation. Let me bring on B Dixon. I love that picture and that afro. Beautiful.
Thank you, T. Thank you.
Hey, sis.
Oh my gosh, I'm so fucking nervous. I just joined the Discord the last round, so shout out to that. Girl, so let's start off by, I got written up by my job today. I do logistics for a steel company, and I am the only Black female in the whole company. Now, mind you, we have 5 branches around the nation. Why am I the only Black female? Number one. Number two, they fired a bunch of people for COVID, and guess who had to pick up their jobs? Me. Guess who didn't get paid to pick up their jobs? Me. So I'm sitting up in this meeting, and I'm trying not to slap these people because what else could you, I feel like Tyrese, what else do you want from me? Like, goddamn, you got my blood, sweat, and tears. So, whatever, I just took it. And a couple weeks ago, me and my partner were talking about not having any more kids. I have a son. And of course, with what's going on in this whole world, it's scary. So I'm just like, okay, I'm done. I don't want any more. Mm-hmm. Yeah, on Thanksgiving, that thing popped up positive. So now I'm just sitting up here like, great, because the write-up, they're like, if we write you up again, we're gonna fire you.
But what were you written up for? I'm confused about that.
Basically, with me taking on a extra workload, I'm not able to do my job as precise as I need to. Like, there's certain certifications that have to be there. There's things that I have to look over, and they don't give me enough time to do that because I'm doing multiple jobs. Anything that goes in there touches me. Anything that goes out of there touches me. And it's so bad to where I don't even take my breaks, my lunch breaks. I haven't taken lunch breaks in 2 years. I eat at my desk. Like I feel like a damn slave. It's almost an inside joke. Like it's not even a joke at this point. This is psychologically fucked up, you know?
Mhm.
And
Well, have you talked to them and let them know that? You know, a lot of
I'm
times
very
companies-
vocal
Okay, so you
about
have
how I
to-
feel. They
Mhm.
kind of call me the ringleader because when I get mad, everybody get mad. I'm one of those people that when there's an elephant in the room, I'm gonna say there's a. Do you not see this elephant? That's me. So they
Right.
know. I've said. For the most part, they're only keeping me because they do not want to train. They don't want to train anybody else because they know it's a lot. When I went on my maternity leave, they had to hire 3 people. So it's just like, it's not adding up to me. You're saying that I'm not doing my job, but you have to hire more people to replace me.
Right.
It's not adding up. I feel like they're just doing that to protect their asses because they don't want to take ownership for not training people correctly.
Now, how long have you been at this job?
It's about to be 5 years.
Okay, so you've been there a while.
Mhm.
Well, at this point, you're gonna have to decide.
And it's not one of those jobs. If I mess up my job and one of them, the still is not right, it gets on a plane, I can go to jail for life. This is not nothing, you know.
Wait, if what gets on the plane?
Since I do still, you know, they sometimes use the still for plane parts.
Okay.
So it's very particular. Like you really have to pay attention.
So
Because
like if you put the wrong type of steel in the plane crashes, is that what you're saying?
if you send it to a company and they make the part and it ends up in a plane, like say the Boeing situation.
Mhm.
When that whole situation went down, we lost that contract because some other company basically they fumbled and it got on the plane. That material was never supposed to make it to a plane. It's supposed to be accepted, approved. It's a lot of stuff, but
I would say this, at this point, you're at a crossroads, right? And then you're pregnant.
right.
So that's even more stress. I mean, do you feel like at this point, maybe it's time to move on, find maybe a different line?
Definitely, because
That would appreciate you.
I'm an artist. I'm gonna turn on my camera real quick. Ignore my living room because I'm an artist, so it's a little messy. This is my lab, but I do custom dolls, and I was how do I flip this one? Sorry, sorry y'all.
Okay.
But I was gonna try to get that together so I can start selling those.
Let me zoom in. Show them nosy. Let me spotlight. Oh my God. Okay, why my big face pop up? Where? Wait, there we go. They look like Monster High. Why does it keep?
I put the spotlight on her, but you went to remove it when you click on it a second time. Just give me stop
Okay.
talking for 1 second. I'm gonna
Oh
put
my
it.
God, these are so cool.
There you go.
They remind me like Monster High dolls a little bit.
I do have those as well. I did one. Here's my lighting. Hold on.
And you make all of those.
Yes,
Okay. First of all, can I get a lovely tea doll, ma'am?
absolutely, girl.
I want a
Yes.
lovely tea doll. These are adorable. And you know what's so funny? Like one of my really good YouTube friends, Malibu Doll Face. Okay. Hey, Malibu, that's like one of my bestest friends on YouTube. And he's really into the whole doll community. We can talk for like hours about dolls. I own one doll and my cousin got me that. It's a Barbie. Glad boys. I didn't have a lot of dolls around the house, right? So, but he's really into dolls. I mean, he's big in the doll community and he's trying to make his own dolls. He's even had like a doll made after him. What I see there is talent. You know, I mean, that is, hold on, let me zoom back in. Hold up. Marnell, can you zoom back on her? I'm trying to see that Chucky doll. Hold up. Oh, it looked like a Chucky. What is that, Freddy Krueger? Oh my goodness. You are very talented. Okay, so that right there, girl, I would be making dolls 24/7, starting a little website. You better join the doll community on YouTube, start promoting your dolls. I wish I would be making steel and risking going to jail. Girl, you are very talented. I love it. Go ahead and unmute your microphone and mute it up. I would definitely
Thank
look
you
at
so
getting,
much.
yeah, I mean, what you're doing, I mean, there's a huge doll community. There really is.
Right.
So that right
And I
there,
haven't seen too many sisters. I've been looking around.
I only
They
see
not
white
looking
people.
too brown around there.
Yeah, I don't see many black folks. Only one I know is Malibu, and he done introduced me to this doll world. And I'm like, I mean, it's interesting. I'm not, into dolls like that, but it's a huge community and people really buy stuff like that. So I would advise you, get into, those spaces,
Right.
post your dolls on IG, use the hashtags, get into those doll communities because this is what they do, and that's a talent and that's a side hustle. So, I mean, I would definitely, it's like we have so many talents out here, as people of color, people in the Discord. It's just so many of us out here grinding and trying to get it. And what stifles us, because again, it's a hobby, but we still have to be able to pay our bills, right? You still have to work and use the money to, buy material and things like that. But honestly, if you found a different job where you could still get a stream of income coming in, but then also be able to do this, it could eventually turn into something full time where you're able to not even have to work, just making dolls all day, Think it muted herself. Okay, go ahead and unmute yourself again.
And that would absolutely be my dream. I love doing it. Like,
Yeah, you can, I mean, like I said, start, jump into those spaces, go into those doll communities, start YouTube channels, somebody
I
was
do
just
have a
saying,
TikTok is Vixens_misfits. So for those saying yes to TikTok, I do have one. But I am going to start the YouTube. After that meeting, I was just like, you know what? It is what it is. Because at this point, I'm tired of hitting these brick walls.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I would just, invest in myself. Sometimes you have to do that, and especially if you're dealing with so much stress, from your job and things like that. I would eventually say bye-bye and get a regular job that's not as stressful. So that way you do have income coming in, but you don't have to deal with the stress of like, sending the wrong parts or something, happening, and then just focusing on your doll business. So that
Right.
would be nice to you.
Thank you so much, T.
You're so welcome. And yes, I want that T-doll. I'm for real. I will buy it.
Listen, I'm gonna send it to you. Don't be surprised.
Okay.
Do you want a bigger one?
I've wanted a doll of myself.
Do you want the Monster High type, or do you want like the Disney, the bigger ones?
Let's see. I don't know. Whichever one.
Because I'm like, they did my girl Tiana real bad. Her mold ain't, that's not where it's at. But I think you would be I think I got the perfect one for you.
Yeah, or Marvel,
I like that smile.
Whatever you feel, whatever works. I would love it, and I would definitely support. So thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Definitely.
You sit her in the back. She's gonna have her little shelf in the back.
Thanks for calling in, sis. It was good talking to you.
Thank you so much, T. Bye-bye.
Bye. So much talent, I swear. Yeah, I'm blown away. That looks like something you could see on the shelf at Target. Let me go ahead and bring on Jose Gonzalez. Hola. Hey, Jose.
Buenas noches. Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
I don't know what to talk about. I just have things written down, but one thing that popped out to me about the metaverse thing was like, I think you mentioned it about crime, identity theft. And like, I just had like this weird thing about someone being possessed in like the metaverse. Like, is there going to be like a metaverse priest or like that couple that just got married, they made a church in the metaverse if they got married in the church, right?
Mhm.
Like, and it's really giving me like existence without God. That's really what it's giving. And if God, like in the Bible it says that the devil's an imitator, like isn't this like just straight up blasphemy, like imitation, like at its finest? Like,
That's interesting because they are imitating our real world,
yeah,
our
like the
humanity.
government is like so obsessed with us. Like they want to know everything about us, and it almost feels like they're not us. Like they don't know how it feels to be like sad or some shit. Like all they do is just traumatize us in our homes and outside of our homes. And it's just like, what's tea? Like what's really tea? Like who are we in debt with? Like who, like the global debt. Like it really, it makes sense if you like really like dig into it. They give you an answer, but it's not an answer. It's like reading CIA documents. You're reading all this English, but the way they word it, it almost sounds foreign. Do you know what I mean? Like if you ever like really read like a CIA document or an unsealed document on the web,
Yeah,
you're
and
like,
have
I
to
read the
like
whole damn
redact
thing, but I
it,
didn't
and
understand shit.
you're trying to connect the pieces for the things that are
Yeah.
redacted and pulled out. Yeah.
And I was also thinking about like all this immigration stuff. Like,
Mhm.
is there going to be like laws in place?
Mm.
Like, just because I can't die in the metaverse doesn't mean I want to get shot at. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, what if you like? I don't know, I'm thinking of it like in video games, and like, and I do think that horror video games really conditioned us into this, because
Like Resident Evil and stuff.
yeah, like Resident Evil, especially Silent Hill.
Mm.
When I was younger, I remember like feeling that someone was behind me looking at me. So it's that immersive. And I don't know, I just keep visualizing people playing with these goggles on, and there being like a legit demon in the same room with them and them not knowing, because all your senses are being occupied by this metaverse.
Mm. Right.
And it's becoming like, it's very bizarre to me because I've been reading the Quran and the Holy Bible,
Mhm.
and everything's just making sense. Like in the Quran it says they will long to leave the fire, but never will they leave. Like people aren't really thinking about like eternal life or like being immortal.
Mhm.
Like, do we know that this metaverse is hell? Like, is this the hell that they've been talking about in the Bible? Is it is all of this already, well, duh, it's already all given to us, but like we have to think about like the metaverse and healthcare, whether it's gonna like be, you can go to rehab in the metaverse, therapy, prison. Is there gonna be a prison in the metaverse? Like if you're gonna be trapped, like prison already itself is hell on earth.
Mhm.
There's slavery happening, there's sex trafficking happening in prisons, and these people are becoming millionaires off of people of color, and it just doesn't end. And it's getting to the point where they've taken everything that's tangible from us, and what's the only thing that they can't grab is our soul.
Mm.
And
Let's go one deeper. Me and RG were having a real deep conversation on Telegraph. And I was telling her, and I think I might have mentioned this a few streams ago, about we've never really sat and asked ourselves, where is this technology coming from?
exactly.
No, like because you just take for granted that I turn on the computer and I see you guys. I turn on the computer and we're Skyping, we're on TikTok. Where
Yeah.
did all of this knowledge come from? And I remember I told you guys a while ago about this video. I literally have searched the internet for weeks. They have scrubbed this video, but it was a video that opened my eyes years ago about where Steve Jobs got the technology to start Apple Computer. Because if you know anything about Steve Jobs, even though they hailed him as like, this genius and he revolutionized history and all this stuff, if you really understand, he was not the smartest guy in the room. He had a
Mhm.
bunch of tech people, you know, he had a bunch of engineers on his team. He didn't really do any of the inventing. It was all the other guys whose names you'll never ever hear who
Yep.
invented the iPhone and the Apple and things like that. And the fact that in behind the scenes in computers, like I told you guys, we learn in IT, they're mainly in Linux computers, but I believe they're in all computers, but they're called, they pronounce it daemons, which is
Yeah.
very close to the word demons of all words.
Mhm.
Why is there something? And it's something that runs in the background of computers. So even as your computer is turned off, there's always things running in the background so that when you turn it back on, you're picking right up where you left off, you're putting in your password. Your computer is always somewhat running. They
Yeah.
call it demons, but I remember when I was in IT, we'd always laugh like, oh, the demons are running the computer, like when the computers would crash and the systems and like, oh, there go the demons again. But I went to go do some more research about Steve Jobs, I think about 2 weeks ago, just doing like a deep dive. And from what I found out, before he invented Macintosh in the garage in Cali, he had went on a trip to India and he was dealing with a lot of spiritual monks. And he was really into like Buddhism and a bunch of things, like a lot of like spiritual things. So my mind just got to wondering, like, did a lot of this information and technology come to him on a spiritual level? Because a lot of this stuff is very spiritual when you think about it. Even when you think back to ancient Egypt, right? Those people, the way the pyramids were built, and I remember one day I just thought to myself, it just hit me. And I'm like, who built the pyramids? Because we have not been able to replicate it, right? With all the
Yep.
technology, all the, you know, the cranes and the bulldozers and all the equipment that we have in 2021 to build skyscrapers, we have not been able to replicate a pyramid. And these pyramids were so intricate. Even the way that they had these mummies buried, how deep underground, how big they are.
They align to stars.
Yes. So you
Like-
cannot tell me that there's not more power, that these powerful beings have not been here from day one. And I just feel like
Absolutely.
they change and they manifest with each century, right? So at some point, I feel like a lot of it was telekinetic energy where they were able to move these pyramids and these huge, I mean, these things are like tons and tons of weight with their mind. And then
Absolutely.
they eventually shifted into like the next revolution, like, you know, when we started getting coals and traveling with trains. And I feel like these spirits, these ancient spirits, these aliens, these demons, whatever you want to call them, I think they're all one and the same.
I think
And
they're demons
I believe that that is what's guiding us right now into this next phase of the metaverse.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think when they wake up, whoever they want to wake up, and they're forcing us to worship something that's way older than anything that's walked on this earth, I think that's when we'll figure out like what's really happening. Because like even when I watched the video about the internet cables in the ocean, I'm like, okay, so where'd y'all plug it up? Where's she plugged up at? Like,
Yeah.
what's the source? They don't really, they explain it, but it's just like always like that. And even English in itself, they've made English kind of useless to us. Like we've literally like been oppressed into like having our third eye or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
like turned off, where like even kids don't even know how to use their imagination now.
No.
So let alone when are we going to lift up a 5-ton block to make a pyramid? Menos. Like, and I do think that like I love how they've tried to make, oh shit. All right, peace out, y'all.
No, what else were
Yeah,
you
have
gonna
a-
say? Finish.
Oh, I was gonna say like they really like, you know when you put a tick under a glass
Mm-hmm.
and that tick jumps, it'll hit its head on that glass, and then you take off that cup, the tick will never jump higher than when it hit its head. And I think they did that to us with racism. They did that to us with everything, spirituality. I feel like we really hit our heads and we can't really jump further.
Mm-hmm.
And we have so much potential, and that's why they're obsessed with us. They are really, and it's a miracle that we're here. Like 500 plus years of genocide, and we are miracles, y'all. Y'all need to remember that. Like you're really that main character. You're really that girl. Like we are really those girls. Like, and it's spooky. It's spooky. I got the chills right now. But
Mhm.
it's just like we are really the it girls, and we can really change this shit. But we really have to like not even decolonize. We have to like do something grander than racism because it's something not tangible. It really ain't. It really ain't.
Yeah, we've been so conditioned now that, like I said, we've slowly gotten, even though the technology has gotten grander, it's dumbed us down. You know, like I
Exactly.
said, I remember in elementary school, I knew literally everybody in my classroom's phone number by heart. By heart.
Same.
Now
Oh my
I
God.
couldn't
Yes, same.
I couldn't tell you what my phone number is without me having to look in the phone. Like, hold on, let me make sure this is the right number. Because it's just hard. But they say it's a smartphone, but all it's done is dumb us down.
Yep. I
Half
still
of us
remember my
can't even
mom's
count
first
and
phone number.
calculate without pulling out a calculator on our phone.
Yeah, we
You
can't
know,
even tell
so
time. Kids don't
yeah,
even know how to tell time.
yeah, they don't. They don't know how to look at analog clocks anymore. So I feel like this was almost like the frog in the pot with the water
Yep.
boiling. And now we're getting to that boiling stage. And now, you know, a lot of people are waking up and want to jump out, but it's too late.
Yep.
It's
Our
scary.
legs are done cooked.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, but that's all I had to say. I know we can
Okay.
probably keep talking for another 5 hours, but it's good. It's good.
It's always good times talking to you, Jose. Thank you for calling
Thank
in.
you. Y'all have a good
Bye.
one. Good night.
You too. All right. He always hits on some really good points. Let me go ahead and bring on Conscious Hippie. Conscious Hippie, go ahead and unmute your microphone.
Hi, I'm really excited right now. I'm a long time listener, first time
Hey, well,
caller.
welcome.
You were my Leo sister, not twin, but you were my Leo sister, so hi.
Thank you so much. When
Um,
is your birthday?
July 24th.
Oh, okay. The same day as my sister's, because she's a
Yeah.
Leo too. Okay. nice.
But I'm calling because I listened to your green room this morning when I was at work, and I was like, bro, I wish I could call in. Like, I really wish I could. I want to talk about the metaverse. Like, and it's interesting to me because you guys are bringing up like Ready Player One, all these movies. And I'm like, has anybody heard of Sword Art Online? I'm not sure if any of y'all are anime fans, but Sword Art came out before Ready Player One. And if you go look up a Sword Art, they're in this virtual world, and this guy
Can y'all,
makes it.
hold on, can y'all type it in here? Because I haven't heard of it. I see people saying that they heard it. Can you type the name in the chat? I like to look.
Yeah, so you go in this virtual world or whatever, and this guy makes it. He lets everybody go in this game. His name is Kirito, and he is a beta tester. So after the beta testing is all done, everybody has access to this virtual game. So the way they put you in the game is it's kind of the same as Altered Carbon or Black Mirror. It messes with your you gotta like put it in your brain, right? So your consciousness is really in this video game. So what he did was he wanted everyone to go back to like, I'm gonna say like older times when you had to have bow and arrows and stuff, right? Because it's like a fantasy game. You die in the game, you die in real life.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, you have to beat the game to get out the game.
Wow.
So they did. Yeah. So I'm just like, and for me, I'm a Sims person. I am the I am for you, like you were like some people were speaking about. I have an issue with I am for you because I was a kid on Club Penguin, and I don't think people are asking about pedophiles because that's how I got on I for you. Somebody went into my Club Penguin was like, "Hey, come join this other game." And I clicked the link, and you can have sex in the game. So he took my avatar and
little
had sex with me on the
kids?
couch. Yeah, like you would create your own avatar. They're all adults. It's like Sims, but like more advanced at that time. Like the characters look more adultish and more, very sexualized. So they
And
would
so
come.
you guys as kids were having sex, virtual sex in this game.
Yes. So he would come to my house, and I didn't, sometimes you can cook on things and agree and talk or whatever. So he comes to my fake apartment and he has sex with me on my couch.
And it was a grown man on the other end of that game?
Yes. I ended up deleting the game
These
and everything.
babies, how old are you?
I'm 27.
They've been grooming y'all for because I'm like, I've literally only heard of all this within like the past, I would say month, because this is not my generation. But I'm, when we had the discussion about 2 weeks ago, it was so many people saying they've been playing this since they were like 10, 11, 12. And they would like you'd be dressed scantily clad and people, so
Mhm.
it was almost like grooming y'all and preparing y'all for sex. And if an older
Yes.
guy comes at you, you're not going to think anything of it because you're already having sex in your virtual world with the grown adult.
Yes. And
Wow.
it's just so weird because you can chat while these avatars are doing their thing. And it was really weird. I ended up deleting it, but it makes me think about the metaverse. Like if it's gonna be in my mind like sword art and you really can feel and see everything, no kid is gonna be a kid on here. I feel like kids are gonna be adults. So then what?
Now, let me ask you this, because this what came to my mind after we had the green room chat, right?
Mhm.
One of the top CEOs, whatever, of Sony, he just got popped trying to lure a 15-year-old boy. He found him on PlayStation and he was trying to have sex with him. So this is like big news right now in the gaming community. He's like really high up there at Sony. And so what I'm thinking as well, this is where my mind goes. Will it be illegal? Because again, especially if they're talking about this whole immersive uniform that they're trying to make for people so you can have immersive sex where you can actually feel it and feel the sensations. What
Yeah.
happens when it's a pedo and he wants to have sex with the underage boy or girl?
Yes.
Is it illegal? Because he's
And
technically not having sex with them, but you're still playing with that child's mind, but it's not really sex because I'm over here in Cali and you're in you know what I'm saying? Would that still be considered grooming, or because it's in the metaverse, anything goes?
and that's how I feel about it. I'm just like, I didn't create a kid avatar in this computer game. So what makes you feel the kids are gonna make a kid version of themselves? They're gonna be what they want to be in their minds. Like I wanted to be this cool looking chic adult. So that's what I made. And that's
Right.
what most kids I think will make. And if you can feel all these senses and you don't even really know about sex as it is, and they're like, well, let me touch here. Or now you're feeling all these it's creepy and it's scary to me because like where does the line get drawn? And can they make their own kid avatar? Like where does this go?
Right, that's true too. Could they make a kid avatar and just sit there and molest the damn kid avatar and say, well, hey, it's not really technically a human being, but we know what you're getting at. It's still creepy, just like the pedo dolls that they have in China that look like real life kids. Like, well, it's really it's not a real kid, but you're literally having sex with something that looks like a kid. So at what point do you get tired of the fake kid and then run after somebody's real baby?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's making me look at anime a lot. I still love anime, but it's making me look at anime a lot differently when you really dive into all the different kinds that are out there, especially those ones where they're like high school girls and they're always the same type of just really hypersexualized little kid girls and they're wearing
Big
these little
titties and
skirts.
the little skirts. Mhm.
Yeah, and I'm just like, do y'all really dress like that over there? This was happening over here? Like what's going on? Like why males make these shows and these supposed to be for kids and teens. So like what are you telling kids? Like you worried about American cartoons, but these have been sexualized since like the 70s or 60s. Like
Right. Well, sis, thank you so much for calling in. It was really good talking to you.
yes, I
I
appreciate
appreciate it. Yes, thank you. She made some really good points. She made some really, really good points. I mean, it's a very slippery slope when you think about it. I mean, this has the potential to go so many places. And even now, the internet is just now catching up with a lot of the issues that are going on with the bullying, the trolling, the doxing. It's taken almost 10 years for them to catch up with all of the internet crimes. So it's going to be a free for all on the metaverse until they can catch up and make regulatory laws and things like that. I just feel like it's a very scary slope when you think about it. Let me go ahead and bring on want to grasp people that we haven't talked to yet. Let's see here. Nikki Bahua. Sorry.
Sent you the name in order of the first person who haven't talked, who raised their name, until the last person who haven't talked, who raised their name.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, I see it now. Hey, Nikki.
Hi. Hold on one second.
Okay.
I gotta. Okay, can you see me? Okay. Hi.
Yes, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good.
So I just wanted to talk about just the metaverse for a little bit. Honestly, I'm a big fan. I've been watching for a long time.
Thank you.
I personally like I'm spiritual, so I have my own business and I do a lot of candle work and things like that. So I work with both sides. I work with demons sometimes, spirits that are classified as that, and I work with angels. I work with the saints and things like that. So I have an interesting perspective of everything. I feel like it's honestly just a next step for other spirits to live in a sort of reality, if you understand what I mean. Because spirits have an
Hold on.
ability
I
to
want to
live
be able to
in
hear you.
phones.
Your phone's kind of
Oh,
going
can you
in and
hear me?
out. Yeah, it's going in and
Oh,
out, low and high, low and high.
hold on one second.
Chad, hopefully it's not the spirits.
Hold on.
Okay, that sounds better.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so spirits have the ability to live in phones. So I feel like it's really like they're making deals with certain spirits to allow them to live as well. I feel like this is a lot deeper than just what we're going through. You know what I'm saying? Because like everybody's been saying for a long time, it's a spiritual warfare. And that's just another way for these spirits to come into reality to influence people as well. Because, you know, right now, everything is just chaotic. It's a lot of shootings. A lot of people are dying of COVID and everything. So it's like, with all of this going on, it's a perfect way to allow different things to come through, if you understand what I'm saying.
Mhm. You know what I was even thinking too? Like, will it be a situation where, you know, we were saying that eventually people's souls and essence can get transferred into the metaverse, but your physical body is here. And then maybe those angels and beings take over our physical bodies. Because remember, a lot of these shows like American Gods and a bunch of other shows are showing that the old gods are coming back. And they want to come back in physical form. So is that the easiest way for them to come back, push our bodies into the metaverse, and then they take over and they get to be humans again because they're tired of being spirits. So almost like we're switching places with them.
Exactly. So
they're becoming physical.
Like the Holy Trinity, the mind, the consciousness, the body is the vessel to live. And then the soul, you need a soul to be able to inhabit the body. So you need all three. But if your body is, you know, not occupied, and your consciousness is in another dimension, you know, it leaves an open gateway for anything to come through, honestly. So it's an interesting perspective for me because I'm just like observing everything. And I do 3D design. So I'm like on the fence with everything because I know how it can get, especially now, because a lot of people are open vessels anyway. So they're just like hopping in and out freely. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting for this new metaverse to be what it's about to be.
So do you agree, or how do you feel about the technology? Am I reaching, or do you feel like a lot of this stuff does not make sense how we're able to do all of this, and a lot of it is more spiritual? Because even with
I honestly agree with that.
Yeah, you can feel like I was talking weeks ago, you can feel people's angst and energy even through emails. I can hear people. It's like I can hear, like before, even if I've never talked to them, I can literally hear their voice sending me, "Hey T, I'm a fan," and I can hear them. It's like the weirdest thing. Like I always feel like the internet and this whole computer thing is a lot more spiritual than people realize.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't really have a grasp on spirituality. You know, I'm not against religions. I have, you know, Muslim family members, obviously Christian family members, and I have people that, you know, don't have any religion and they just, you know, do whatever. So I don't judge anybody, but it's interesting to see how it's going to be interesting to see how everything plays out, especially given that not a lot of people have that knowledge of spirituality. They just have the knowledge of their religion, is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be blinding at times, especially during this time.
Right. Somebody in the chat was asking you, can you hit on the Jezebel spirit really quick?
The Jezebel spirit? Yeah, I definitely can. I can say I've channeled the Jezebel spirit. I used to be a dancer, so I was definitely around that energy.
It's real, right?
It's real. It's definitely real. And like the incubus and succubus thing is definitely real. A lot of things that they say are not true and are just fantasy are actually active and you just can't see. Or they're just, shapeshifters, so they look like humans.
Mhm.
But in reality, they're a whole being,
Now, from what
So
I've
this is
heard,
really real.
yeah, from what I've heard, the reason why the Jezebel spirit is manifesting more and more like in our world is due to like the narcissism from social media, the Instagrams, the filters, the look at me, and the heavy makeup.
Definitely.
The,
It definitely
makeup,
is.
the makeup,
It-
and not to knock anybody who wears makeup, and I wear makeup every now
Oh,
and then,
no.
but what they're saying is that it's to the point now when some women are so heavily made up, you can't even tell the genders. You
Mhm.
can have men who can straight pass for women now. There's no,
Oh, yeah.
like, it's to the point now, sometimes when I go out, I'm confused. Like, I can't even tell who's a boy, who's a girl, and things like that. And they're saying
that's the
a lot of that
thing.
from the Jezebel spirit.
Yeah, that's the thing. Glamour it has two sides. Everything has duality. It can be used in a good way or the extreme way, which is, what we see on Instagram, why everybody is rushing to get BBLs, just because they see it forced down their throat on Instagram and Facebook. So that's just a whole nother thing, a whole nother agenda of wanting people to feel, okay, I'm gonna get up.
No, thank you so much. You hit on some really, really good points, and I appreciate you calling in. I always love when people call in and go deep.
Well, I just have to talk about spirituality. That's my thing. I do a lot of things, but that's always what I come back to. So I felt the need to share. Thanks for having me.
Definitely. Thank you, and welcome to the Discord. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Bye.
Bye. All right, it's 10 o'clock. I'm gonna go a little bit longer. I want to try and get a few more people, especially like the new people that we haven't talked to yet. So let me go ahead and bring on T4ish4. Go ahead and unmute your microphone. Try it again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. How are you?
I'm good, and you? My name is Taisha. I'm
Hi.
22 and I am a senior in college social work major. And I've been, I guess you can say, kind of having difficulties grieving the loss of my identity, I guess you can say, because of events that has been taking place in my life. And I've been having difficulties coping with it. And as a result, I've noticed a shift in myself. And it kind of concerns me because I really want to take control of it now before it really takes a major impact on my life down the line. So basically, I did not really have an easy upbringing, nor do I have like a close relationship with my family. So I was not able to move out until I was 21. And that was because I was doing my bachelor's at a university. So what has happened is that I moved in with two girls in an apartment who I don't know, but I met through a Facebook housing group page for the university. And at first, everybody, I guess you can say, was cool. And then it just became hell. Like every single day, it was just something. And it was mainly a specific roommate who, in the beginning, I've noticed some red flags about her. She would always give me backhanded compliments, especially towards things that I have and she doesn't have. I can always I guess you can say I can sense insecurities from her as well. And she will always project her insecurities onto me and such anger and such. It was so bad to the point where at one point she broke my furniture. And she's also a social work major. And she had always, not always, but she has physically threatened me as well. And it was so bad to the point where I would always lock myself in my room or always have my boyfriend with me because I was so afraid of stepping out because of what she could have possibly done to me. And because of the fact that we are also in the same major and same classes, I felt like I cannot escape from that girl. So I did move out when my lease was up, but because of that whole situation, it really took a major toll on me mentally. And it's really hard for me because I do have a speech delay, and and I always felt as if she would use that, I guess you can say, against me. And it's something that I've never really accepted that is part of me, but I don't really disclose to anybody about it. So as a result, now that I moved out and I live on my own, I'm just so, I guess you can say, I am afraid of opening up to people, of communicating, interacting with people because of my experience having to live through that for a whole year and not having any escape, not having anybody to really vent to. I can't really rely on my family. Only person I really had was my boyfriend, and he was there throughout everything. And also, I would always continuously pick up shifts at work, even though I didn't like my job, but as long as it kept me out of that apartment, that was the only thing I really cared about. So now that I'm gone from that apartment complex and I don't live with her, but we are still in the same major, so I still see her. And I feel like I'd be having PTSD from the memories, and it's hard for me to like just move on. And I can't really talk about this to anybody because most people just say, oh, just move on, just let go. But it's hard to when it really took a major mental toll on me. So as a result, I realized that I'm starting to like close up a lot and not really interact with people and just keep my distance from people. I guess you can say as a defense mechanism to protect myself, but at the same time, it makes me very concerned because that is not me. I'm an extroverted type of person. I like to talk. And also in my major as a social worker, I'm about to graduate and I'm about to do my internship. I have to be able to talk to people. And
Right.
that is my biggest concern.
What I would say, because what it sounds like this woman put you through is something very traumatic,
Yeah.
almost like a spiritual attack. Like we were talking about the spirit of narcissism. I've gone through that, it was pretty public, but and it was a lot. It took a toll on me, especially when you've done nothing to said individuals. And it's like they see something in you and it just like angers them. It's like a jealousy, it's like an underlying hate. Even though you've done nothing, you're just literally living your life. And it seems like the girl chose you, and she's basically an energy vampire. She wanted to do everything to drain you and to bring you down. And especially being that you guys are in the same major, she may have saw you as competition. Because a lot of things like that happen when people are in the same line of work or doing the same thing. Somebody may come in with pure intentions where you're like, oh, cool, we're in the same major. Let's be friends. Let's connect. Let's study together. But that person is really looking at you as competition. So they want to do anything to try and drive you crazy, make it look like, you're the bad guy, turn things around, spread lies about you, harass you. And it's hard when you're going through a narcissistic attack because not everybody gets it. And you'll have people even turn their backs on you thinking you're the bad guy, even though you've done nothing wrong. And eventually people will come around. But what I can say for me, how I got over it was definitely prayer, counseling, talking to people. And as mad as I was for a while, like I didn't trust anybody on the internet. Like I wouldn't have been able to do a Discord 2 years ago. Because after that experience, I was like, fuck the internet, fuck these weird ass people. I'm gonna just make my videos and keep it moving. Like that was my mentality for a while. But then when I realized when I thought like that, it was blocking my blessings from seeing and meeting other people who had nothing to do with the situation and who were genuinely good people, right? Because sometimes when we're traumatized, we want to block ourselves off from everybody. And that means people who mean you well and people who mean you harm. So you can't do that, especially in your line of work. So eventually it's not so much getting over it, because it's hard to get over somebody just constantly messing with you for no reason, especially when you've really done nothing to them, because it's like you're asking yourself, like, why me? What did I do? What did I do? But eventually, like I said, things get better. Definitely get counseling, but don't allow this to dictate how you live your life and how you deal with people. Because then at the end, she wins. You know what I'm saying? Because she's still in your head mentally. So once I had to learn that, like, if I keep being closed off and not allowing other people to, come into my space or be in my DMs or dealing with people, I'm missing my blessings. So once I finally let go of that, I was able to, it took a while, but I was able to trust again. And now I've built a great community. I built people that I'm very close with online who have just become like family to me. I talk to them every day. Like, we literally talk every day. We check in, we laugh, we joke, but I wouldn't have been able to do that 2-3 years ago. So never let anybody destroy your joy, destroy what God has for you, destroy your path in life, because some people are really demons in physical human form. Just keeping it real. And narcissistic people, to me, are demons in human form. They just are. They feed off of negative energy, and their only job is to destroy. They're never happy. They're miserable people. And when you really look at their life and their situations, because they're so quick to judge everybody else and pick everybody else apart, but their lives are just in total disarray. And that's what that is. A lot of that is her and her situations being jacked up and her projecting it on you. And the fact that it could have been something as simple as the fact that you had a loving boyfriend who was there for you through all of this. And meanwhile, she probably don't have no man, no family, no nothing. So I want to destroy everything that I see that makes you happy. So you can't allow that person to do it. Yes, it's messed up. Yes, it's sad. Yes, it's traumatic, but eventually you do have to let it go, pray about it, release it, and move forward with your life. If not, you're going to be trapped, and it's going to affect you, because she's going to move on and keep doing her and destroying the next person and the next person, because they get off on stuff like that. But you don't want to be in a situation where now you're stagnant and it's affecting your future. And especially as a social worker, you want to be in the right mind frame so you can help others, and you can't help others if you're constantly dealing with this baggage from a year ago with this woman.
I greatly appreciate what you just said. Like, I really needed it. Thank you.
No, you're very welcome. And I just hope everything gets better. I can tell you're very empathic, so you absorb a lot of things in. And sometimes as empaths, it took me a while to like really learn and study and understand what that is it's very easy to manipulate empathetic people, because you see the best in everyone. And that's why I had to learn, like, everybody is not your friend. Everybody doesn't mean you well. So it's okay to be guarded to an extent, but not to the point where you shut everyone out. But just know now, going through that situation has got my discernment so high that I can even get a certain email from people and I can already feel the vibe. Next, no response. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really toughens you up. So the next time, everything that you went through with this girl, you're going to be able to see the next narcissist from a mile away, where you won't even entertain it. Yeah. So I just hope everything gets better for you.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're so
I really
welcome.
appreciate talking to you. Thank you. You made my night. Thank
I'm
you.
glad you're able to get that off your chest, and good luck to you and everything with your social working degree.
Oh, thank you. And I wish you the best in terms of your health and your surgeries. I pray that you have a successful surgery and whatever comes in the future, and that you remain healthy and blessed.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take 2 more calls. I'm sorry if we weren't able to get to everybody. Let's see here.
I sent you the updated list of the two first people who have been there since the beginning and that they're new.
Okay, okay, so Deanie Darcel. Okay, Deanie, go ahead and unmute your microphone.
Hey T, hey Discord.
Hey sis, how you doing?
Baby, first things first, because every time I come up here, I always gotta give you your flowers because I love you dearly, Reese's Pieces and all that, boo. God got you with this.
Thank
you already know you are covered in the blood and the armor. Marky, baby, I'm only gonna be 3 minutes. I ain't gonna be too long. So have that sign ready because I know the last time I went over, and I'm sorry about that, boo. I got this. So contacts came in.
Mm-hmm.
I will be able to see again. Thank God.
Good.
I'm so happy for that. I remember the last time that we were all together after the party, I said with the old job did not hit me up until I put in that letter of resignation that day when the new job started. They gonna message me 3 days later saying, we need to do an exit interview. I said, not gonna happen. Y'all had numerous times. I gave you 2 numbers when I had started. You didn't call neither nor. So we gonna ignore it. Give me a second. I'm up here wiping my eyes because that whole word that you just did of that sermon, I was crying a little bit. I ain't trying to get too emotional. Ooh, sweet baby Jesus. What else has been going on? School is the only thing that has been stressful. They have been pushing me back because if you ever heard of Full Sail, I tell anybody at this point is a scam in college because every time I feel like I'm getting close to being out of this messed up MCT thing that they put me in, they always push it back. Because first they told me, oh, it was only going to be 2 classes. 2 classes turned to 4. Now I got to do 8 classes before I can go back to my regular major. So I'm just about to be like, I'm over it at this point because I was going to school for sports casting. I was like, you know what? I'm seeing everybody and their mama up here just doing the dang thing on their own. I'm about to just do it because I can't do this. Like, I only did it because of the simple fact it was going to be a gateway for me to get into where I wanted to go, which was WWE or one of the wrestling companies, so I can do sports casting through there. Okay. That's out the door because I learned some things about WWE I did not need to know with their whole devil worshiping asses.
Vince McMahon, I need to do a deep dive on Vince as a wrestling fan.
Honey,
that dark.
I didn't. When was it? WrestleMania that just passed. It was really demonic to me in the beginning because they had one wrestler. He was like the Fiend, but the whole thing, I saw all that little paraglam stuff and all that. I said, okay, you're dibbling back into the satanic stuff again. You took blood money. You know what? I'm over you, WWE. Vince, when you croak, that'd be the last time I watch your product. So you got that mess going on. Then with the metaverse thing, because I wanted to say it yesterday, I watched videos on it. To me, it's kind of messed up because I don't know if IGN updated it or not. They had it to where the woman has said that the metaverse that she went on through Facebook is partnering with Microsoft, so it can all bounce around. Because she said in the end, everybody has to come together and work together. So when I heard that, I said, okay, so why you got Zuckerberg and you got that crazy man that we don't even speak of no more? Because he's been hella quiet since the pandemic has I say somewhat calmed down. Gates, we haven't heard much about him since he got that farmland. He been hushed. So that got me up there looking like, okay. And then too, with the whole metaverse, half of the spaces that you go to, it's just the head up. There's no feet. There's no nothing. It looked like Roblox on acid. You got NFT stuff. I'm up there like, you can't even sell this. Why are y'all doing this? And then the girl, how she was trying to say, yes, I ate breakfast at Machu Picchu and there was a llama. I said, could you touch the llama? It's not a real llama. It is fake. Baby, go sit down. You can't play me and tell me it's real when it's not. So that was that whole mess. That was just something that just, they're pushing it heavy. And then with the whole Club Penguin thing, it was ran by Disney. That's what a lot of people did not know back in the day. It was ran by Disney. Disney shut it down in 2017 because of how many parents kept filing about, the perversion stuff. Well, when the pandemic kicked in, people had took Club Penguin, they remade it to where it was overly sexualized and graphic and all that other stuff where you could do a lot of too much disgusting stuff. So it was like, and then too, Disney didn't like all the backlash that they got because everyone in mom was like, this is supposed to be a place for kids, but y'all got like perverts and all this other stuff.
Mhm.
So it's just like, baby, do what y'all want. But I already know, I told my sister, my little nephew, when he gets to a certain age, we cutting all that stuff. It's dead, because I told him, and he understands, it's so sad with these pandemic babies, they too smart for their own good. Because I told him, I said, you're going to see a lot of stuff that's going on in this world, and I want you to be able to. And I, like, he'll even sense it when I'm up there, like, listening to you. He'll come over and he'll just sit there. I'm like, oh, you good, because you listening to a good one.
Thank you so much. But yeah, you know, as far as the WWE thing, you know this, there's a huge community for wrestling. You know, I can't tell you how many times I've watched the Dark Side of the Ring and just broke down crying.
Oh my God,
Because
yes.
I never knew, you know, because this was a big part of our life for all these newbies. Like when we were kids, like old school wrestling was huge. This is how, you know, I have brothers. And so it's like, this is how me, my brothers, and my dad bonded, was through wrestling. Sometime I like, you know, like throughout the 90s and the different matches, and, you know, watching Macho Randy Man Savage propose to Miss Elizabeth, and then finding out she found coke back in the day, then he done hit the tree and died. And then even finding out what really happened to Owen Hart, because I didn't even know the extent of it. And then the way that Vince McMahon basically played his family.
And said it, oh, we're just going to continue to show how it goes. And I'm up there like, y'all didn't perform the proper stuff with Owen. And I understand why Martha did what she did. And then they try to come at Martha. It's like WWE, most of the fans, I've understand at this point now as I've gotten older and I've been more esoterical to a lot of stuff due to you. Thank you for that. I have been like, they are so brainwashed and conditioned to whatever they put out, they accept it. And I'm like, that's not cool. Like, they felt some type of way because the wife was like, I'm not going to let WWE, who disrespected my husband, had him dead in a ring, and still continue to show, I'm not going to let them continue his legacy. That's why it was always antsy between Vince and Brett, because the simple fact, Brett felt some type of way.
Yeah, that was his brother, you know, but
So
I think if you don't go through and get that degree, definitely start the WWE podcast, you know, or YouTube channel with your own opinions on it, because you don't see a lot of Black people talking about WWE like that, WWF, you know, it's usually like the white guys who go in, and I enjoy a lot of their videos and stuff. Like me, my homeboy Tiny, who's done podcasts with me, he's a big WWE, WWF fan. So we can talk about wrestling all day, but like, we would watch the Dark Side of the Ring, and it's just like, this is crazy. And, you know, and I didn't believe it for a while when they would say that nobody becomes a billionaire by being a nice guy. Like you literally have to step on people and do all types of shit to claw your way to the top. And now, and it's so easy to say, okay, well, Donald Trump is kind of dark. He's done some nefarious things, or Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk, but nobody ever talks about the just the fucked up shit that Vincent McMahon has done to become a billionaire. Because he's a billionaire now.
They don't, and the fans are like rapid about it. Like anytime you try to put it, because I remember when the wrestlers were stuck in Saudi because something went on between the Prince and Vince. So the wrestlers were stuck on that tarmac for like hours. All right, this last thing was like hours, and it was just like, it was messed up. And then when people try to point it out, because it was around that same time, the year later, is when that dude who was the reporter got killed. And that's my time. I am done, Pooh.
Okay. Thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. I'm not gonna let Marky cuss me out.
Oh my gosh, she brought back some memories with that. Yeah, the WWE goes deep, and whoever wrote that in the chat about Chris Benoit, you better preach. If y'all don't know the history of Chris Benoit and that whole situation, that was a whole ritual. That was a whole ritual, because people forget when the wife first came out, she was two-stepping with the devil. Her whole persona was being a female devil and all that other stuff. The WWE, that shit goes deep. It goes so deep. Even with the Ultimate Warrior, who was one of my favorite wrestlers, he comes out, he makes amends, and the next day he dies. What? Let me stop, because I can talk about wrestling forever. I need to do a deep dive on wrestling. I've been wanting to. Tiny been telling me for a while, you need to do a breakdown, because we can talk about it. And I be seeing all these symbolisms, and I be making all these connections. He's like, you need to do a deep dive on the wrestling. But I'm like, I don't know if if my supporters really be into that, but maybe I might just do it and just say whoever's into it, watch it, child. So let me go ahead and call on one more person. Diva D, I know you've been on here for a while. Go ahead and unmute your microphone, sis.
Hello, everyone. I am so happy to
Hi.
be on the Discord. I'm so happy to connect with you.
Yes, welcome.
Hi, Jose. I wanted to mention something with you, Jose. I don't know if you guys have watched the show Them, about the Black family that moved into Compton back in the 60s. Well, anyway, it was a spirit in there, and the spirit asked the Black woman, what makes you so strong? Why are you so strong? So that goes in line with what you were saying about, them always wanting to know what we're doing and how we're doing. They know that our spirit is different, and they want to tap into that. So, but my main thing is these vaccines, honey. My job talking about they want us all back on the 3rd. And I don't want that thing. I found out it's a lot of people who don't want it. Even the people who are vaxxed don't want to come back in. I asked them, I said, well, what are you going to do to protect us? Y'all don't have no plexiglass up. You're not asking people, okay, when you come back, we know that you've been vaccinated, but please come with a COVID test so that, you don't infect nobody else. Because that's what happened back on the 7th, coming back after Labor Day, and people got infected. I'm in New York. These people don't wear no mask out here, honey. They don't wear no mask. They out here infecting everybody. And I say, if you look at what the vaccines do, you're sick, but you don't know it because the vaccine, it makes your symptoms mild. So you could be sick and infecting everybody. You don't know. So this thing is going to be going round and around and around and around while they talking about, get vaxxed, get vaxxed, get vaxxed. And I'm just not, with it. So I put in for what is it, the religious exemption. And honey, I'm leaving it up to God because I just can't. I'd rather work from home. I've been working from home successfully. My ratings have been good and everything. So I don't know, this whole thing with just get vaxxed. And they know that those things aren't doing a damn thing for you.
Yeah, because
so I don't understand
about the whole Omicron virus. Everyone who's gotten it was vaccinated, and some even had a booster.
Yep, and still got sick.
Yeah.
So all of it, like I said, you just going round and around with the infections and everything, and it's just not cool. So pray for us, sister, because yeah. And I'll be praying for you, T. Hope that all goes well with your surgery. I know that God is with you and you are going to be just fine. So I know other people want to talk. I'm not going to take up too much time, but I just wanted to put that out there. Them vaccines is like, I just can't.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, sis. Thank you.
You're
I know a
welcome.
few people were saying that they wanted to end in a prayer, but I don't see any of the people who are asking with their hands up. So if you wanted to do the prayer, please let me know. Like, just write it in the chat and then I can go ahead and pull you up because people are asking that. In the meantime, let me go ahead and Garden of Treaton, go ahead and unmute your microphone.
Hey T.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Okay, so one thing I wanted to say about and I wasn't even going to touch on the whole metaverse thing, but it did make me think when everyone was talking about it, like what's going to happen if you're late to joining? Like, I'm wondering like what's going to happen to people who are late? Like, are you going to come in like poor people? Like, if you're familiar with like the video game NBA 2K, like when people are playing that game, when they come in with brown shirts, right? And so the more advanced people have earned their way to actually getting like real clothes and things like that, right? So when the brown shirts come around, nobody want to play with the brown shirt people, right? Like they have no interest in the brown shirt people. So I'm just wondering, like, for the people who come in late, and this wasn't even what I was going to talk about, but I just thought about it. For the people who come into the metaverse late, like, are we gonna be, well, I don't want to say we, because I don't know, but the people who come in late, are they like the brown shirts, like the outcasts? Are they going to be treated poorly?
Right.
And how does that affect you in your real life? Like,
No, that's true. And I mean, you think about it, people who are buying all this the real estate already in the Metroverse, and they're buying mansions to live by Snoop Dogg. Well, if we're the last ones to come in there, are we going to be homeless in the slums? Like, where are we supposed to live?
Right.
Is there Section 8 in the Metaverse? Like, right. It's
I
a
was
subsidized
wondering.
housing. Like, where are we supposed to go?
Exactly. So the other thing was, I was just thinking about, and I forgot where I heard it, but it was talking about like in 2019, the US was like in the best place financially, right? Like we were doing great. If you think about it, there was this big push for support small businesses, support Black businesses, this, and this, right? So then we get COVID. Now COVID is a thing. Now they push this whole PPP thing. Now you got people who were doing so well on their own, because you got to think, when people are entrepreneurs, they don't necessarily have to report. They should, but they don't have to report every single piece of income that they get, right? So the government can't really control and see all the money that you're making. So what do? They find a way to put you back in debt and dependent on them. Hence the reason we got all these PPP loans and things like this, right? So now everybody is back in debt again. Everybody, even the major businesses and small businesses. I don't know if you've looked at those lists, the PPP lists, and you could see all these major businesses in your area and all these people, of course, who made up businesses and all their personal information. But all these people are on here, and now it's like, you have made us totally dependent on you in this time. So then now, okay, and I'm sorry, I don't want to sound all over the place, but then I also wonder, for those who are like entrepreneurs like me, where does that put us in the metaverse? I'm just going to tie it back to the metaverse. Where does that put us in the metaverse whenever we actually have tangible products to sell? How does that work for us? We have tangible products. We can't, like, what are we going to do? What happens to our businesses?
That's true. Well, that's why they're saying that they're creating a whole new thing of jobs. Like now in the metaverse, instead of you, like, let's say you're a fashion designer, well, you just be designing, the emperor's new clothing, virtual clothes. Okay, well, if I'm a baker and I cook, or I have a restaurant, I mean, at the end of the day, as human beings, we still need to eat. We need to drink water. So it's like, so what happens to my job? Will all the cooks not be in the real world now? Like, it's just weird. I just don't even know where they're gonna go with this.
Right. And I am a baker, so that's why I'm like, what's gonna happen to me? Like, you're not gonna want no virtual desserts. You don't want to eat the real thing. And then our money, as we know, the cash dollar isn't worth anything. So now we're in this virtual world with virtual currency. How would you even pay me in the real world for what I provide?
Right. And
You
that's
can't.
the part that's just like really confusing, because they don't really have an answer. That's why I said they're making it seem like it's this huge utopia. Mark Zuckerberg and all his alien friends sitting around the table and having fun together. But it's like, well, how long is that going to last? Because again, when social media first came out, it was supposed to be like a utopia. You get to talk to your friends and you get to connect with people that you haven't seen in years. And fast forward 10 years, it's a shit show on social media. People are depressed, killing themselves, trying to keep up with the Joneses. I mean, social media has literally destroyed the fabric of humanity. And that came from the people who invented Facebook. Those were their own words, but y'all knew it and y'all still did it anyways.
Well, I just want to say, Noah, thank you for finally letting me on the art, girl. I've been waiting forever. It's been raining out here. So thank you for letting me on the art, girl, before it got too bad.
You're so welcome. Well, thank you for calling in tonight. It's really good talking to you.
Thank you so much. Y'all have a good night.
You too. So it is 10:30. Marcia said she wanted to lead us in prayer before we all go, because we talked about some deep stuff and it's late. So we'll leave on a positive note. Marcia, go ahead and unmute your microphone, sis.
All right, can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you perfectly.
Okay. All right. Father Yahweh, we come together, we touch and agree on all these things that we talked about. I ask that you just calm our hearts and our minds and our spirits during the situations that we're going through, from surgeries and healing from surgeries, just depressing thoughts or situations that we're going through with work, family, friends, as we rest our heads tonight, that any worries that we may have, that you just take care of them. that you activate our angels, that we know how to activate our angels, that you surround us with them, that we are protected as we're sleeping and as we're awake. And I also ask that you just give T strength as she is coming up on her upcoming surgery. She already has a lot on her plate from just helping us with Discord. So I just ask that everything just goes smoothly with her, that she has the help and support that she needs while she's at home recovering, that you guide the surgeon's hands as they're working on her surgery, that all the parts and everything are put in correctly, and that she has a smooth recovery. And just bless everyone tonight who was here listening, and that there's no fear or worry, that as long as we lean on you and listen to you and know how to distinguish your voice among the many who try to speak to us in this day and age, that we know how to follow you and you alone. It is thank you for this Discord group and the people in it, for the support and the love that we give each other when our own people forsake us. Thank you for this time in this gathering. In your name, Yeshua. Let it be so. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Marcia. I really
You're welcome.
appreciate you leading us in prayer tonight.
You're welcome.
Yeah, definitely. I hope that makes everybody feel better as we get ready to log off, because I know it's late and I'm sorry I started the meeting so late. But I'm really glad so many people were able to join tonight and just come through and share their stories. I'm sorry I wasn't able to get to everybody, but we will do another meeting soon. So on that note, you guys have a good night. Take care of yourselves. And I'll see you guys in the Discord. I'll talk to you guys later.